Hello, welcome to episode 63 of Cyberpunk. Huzzah! It's not as hot in here today. In fact, outdoors it's only predicted to make it up to 19 degrees Celsius later today. So it's t-shirt weather, which I'm happy with, and I'm not going to melt. That's the important thing. I've been really busy this week actually, tuning into all the discussions around another of CDPR's projects, Witcher 3 and Witcher 4. Someone in the comments said how CDPR seem to be the masters of creating these kinds of gorgeous worlds of Witcher and Cyberpunk, and I couldn't agree more. It's a very fine line between games that immerse the player through meticulous world building and rich, intricate realism, and those where a kind of data smog descends over everything. It obscures the big picture, it overwhelms the gameplay, and it makes them not as enjoyable at all. Cyberpunk, like The Witcher, has an internal consistency for me. The world is evocative and vivid, and it just makes sense. So yes, I'm very much on the trail of everything that's going on at the moment in a non-spoiler way, of course. Lots of other comments to talk about, as ever, during the episode, but let's first look at the question I asked you about NCPD last episode, specifically whether they are a beleaguered force trying their best to help people in the chaos of Night City, or whether they are part of the problem, really just a gang by any other name. It was interesting how the decline of society and the rise of corporations was seen as largely to blame for this. The NCPD may still be fundamentally good at its core, but the susceptibility of policing policy to political interference and the influence of the megacorporations was seen as the real problem. NCPD's found itself marginalised by cutbacks, hampered by politicians who have agendas. Nevertheless, I have a lot of respect for the officers who are trying to fight the corruption out there in Night City. Their conditions sound awful, as with the officer who we heard of who was nearing retirement and yet being sent right into high-risk conflict situations, or the ones who were bemoaning their lack of decent equipment that they had access to. And yet they still go out on patrol trying to keep the public safe from the worst of this mayhem. So on the whole, I agreed with the view that they are not just another gang at all. Certainly they may have an us versus them attitude in certain circumstances, and that's understandable because I don't think they're entirely 100% supported out there on the streets. But having seen Dogtown and what that has devolved into, the thought of Night City without NCPD, of what might happen should they ever cease to exist, is unthinkable. Which brings me to today's question. The idea of NCPD, of a police force being ineffectual, is just one aspect of the dystopia that Mike Pondsmith, the creator of the original tabletop universe, tapped into when designing this world. He famously stated that Cyberpunk isn't an aspiration, it's a warning. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when technology outpaces our ethical development and corporate power fills the void left by a fractured society. The question today has been prompted by comments and feedback many of you have left over videos going back a long way. It's a question I think just about everyone who's played the game has asked themselves at one time or another, and it is this. Are many of the fictional dystopian aspects of Night City inevitable consequences for our own futures, or can they be stopped? When we try to consider this, we've got to look past the superficial lens of modern party politics. I am not a political person. This is not an indictment of specific political factions or election cycles going back into history. Rather, it's a deeper question of evolutionary biology and human psychology. When thinking about the long-term future of our world and the bad dream terrors painted by Cyberpunk 2077, the question becomes, how did the world end up this way? What is it we would have had to have guarded against to avoid such an outcome? And are we biologically wired to prioritise our own immediate short-term benefit at the expense of securing a safe future for the next generation and beyond? On one side stands the bleak argument that today humanity is largely, inherently, structurally selfish. This argument posits that Night City is the inevitable mathematical result of humanity's collective unwillingness to trade today's comforts for tomorrow's survival. In our present world, we have the existence of sweatshops. We have data warning about environmental damage and collapse. But simultaneously, we want our cheap goods, our smartphones, our express deliveries. In-game, this tension is demonstrated by, for example, the technology of Secure Your Soul and the Arasaka Corporation itself. Humanity wasn't conquered by Arasaka, it bought into it. The wealthy elites willingly choose literal digital immortality for themselves over fixing the crumbling toxic world around them. And this tunnel vision is true of many more moderately well-off citizens in Night City too. They continuously choose immediate high-tech escapism over working for systemic reform. And that does indeed suggest that dystopia as a phenomenon is simply the unavoidable long-term consequence of human selfishness. In this light, Cyberpunk simply warns of what will happen unless we both stay alert and develop a willingness to change. Conversely, an opposing view might argue that human nature isn't inherently selfish at all, but rather that our modern social and economic systems, things that we have either deliberately built or permitted to come about, form a kind of mechanical trap that actively penalises altruism, thinking of others, putting their needs on a par with or even ahead of our own. This perspective counters the evolutionary argument of natural selfishness by pointing out that humanity's survival has always depended on, to a large degree, collaboration and collective cooperation. And yet increasingly we have created dystopian systems where one person's gain can only happen at the result of another person's loss. Many people in Night City live in poverty and squalor, not because they chose laziness or apathy, but because corporate monopolies have created an absolute dependence upon them. Night City isn't proof that humanity stopped caring. It's proof of what happens when corporate and economic structures become so absolute that individual sacrifice becomes ineffective at preventing dystopian outcomes. Everywhere we look in Night City, we see both the glitzy advertisements exalting the work of corporations as well as the slogans and messages deriding them. This could be seen as an extension and extrapolation of present-day attitudes held by some people towards corporations. It is heavily bifurcated. We look at megacorporations with a mixture of distrust and absolute reliance. They're criticised as faithless entities driving inequality, and yet they're simultaneously viewed as the only reliable providers of stability, career progression, innovation in an unpredictable economy. Cyberpunk 2077 takes this duality and pushes it to its absolute limits. To a citizen of Night City, a megacorporation is simultaneously the ultimate oppressor and the only source of safety. For the millions living in the compromised zones of Night City and the world beyond, landing a low-level corporate desk job at Arasaka isn't viewed as selling out. It's winning the lottery, offering the luxury of clean water, real food, private security. The true horror of Cyberpunk's dystopia is that the corporate machine successfully reprogrammed human nature itself. It turned our natural instinct for survival into the very fuel that keeps the megacorporations in power. So back to today's question. When we think about the complexities of human nature and the trajectory of our world in present time, what do you think? How likely is it that the dystopian features of Cyberpunk 2077 could become our actual reality one day? Over to you. So to episode 63 and where we're going today. Today, the main storyline is remaining on pause, and for good reason. Now, I know exactly what some of you might be thinking. V, what are you doing? Songbirds and your own lives are literally on the line. The clock's ticking and you're pausing the main game. Look, trust me, I'm just as keen as anyone to see how the chaos in Dogtown plays out, and the main storyline is fantastic, but as you know, this is just how I play the game. Songbird isn't going anywhere at the moment while Hansen has her prisoner. This may be one of the last times where it's safe for me to pause to do other stuff for a while. I love soaking in the entirety of the Cyberpunk world, and today we are hitting the brakes on the main story for a bit. The truth is, the sheer artistry that CDPR poured into the additional content is just too good to ignore. The main quest is vital, but these standalone chapters outside of it hold some of the deepest lore and best storytelling in the entire game, and skipping them feels like missing out on half of a masterpiece. Both parts need their time in the spotlight. So today we are playing a bit of Night City Roulette. One of the things I haven't explored much at all, and it's been pointed out to me several times, are the many yellow exclamation points scattered across the map throughout the game. Not fixer gigs, not NCPD activities, not fighting or racing challenges. These exclamation points are self-contained mysteries. I've driven past them, I've wondered about them, I've made mental notes to go back and investigate them, and today I'm going to check some of them out. We're chasing down a bunch of these random exclamation marks that don't tell us what they are to see what is hidden in the shadows. We will absolutely get back to the main thriller down the line, but today and for now, we spin the wheel. Let's get going. It's very peaceful here. I've relocated significantly, as you can probably tell, for the start of this episode, and the place I've chosen to start us off from, I selected for a variety of reasons, some of them quite complex. One is that I wanted to be somewhere other than the claustrophobic, squished together, broken architecture of Dogtown, where the sun struggles to penetrate and in some places never does. I wanted to get away from that into somewhere more open, and as you can see, we've achieved that. I've been standing here actually for some considerable time, just before pressing the record button on OBS, just soaking in this changed feel to the place. It feels very ordinary and normal and reassuring. The traffic passing by, the pedestrians walking past occasionally, taking their exercise on their way to work or running errands or whatever, the river flowing gently through. The light here is so even. It's dependable. It's made me realise that Night City has its strengths as well as its weaknesses. And I could almost have turned the start of this episode into a where are we now of its own, because some of you I think will have worked out where it is I've gone back to. I said it was a complex reason that I chose this place. We're back in the apartment that used to belong to Judy. The one that she donated very kindly to me when she left Night City. And I don't think she's coming back. And that's a problem for me with this apartment, because I have happy, sad memories of Judy and this apartment for obvious reasons. On one hand, I don't want to think of her as gone forever. Even though we're still in touch, she's a terrific tune. I can't bring myself, if the game would even allow me to redecorate this apartment and personalise it. I can't get rid of the nautical theme, I can't get rid of the fish tank and all the rest of it, because this is Judy. This is very much a memory of her, and it's not a sad thing to remember Judy. She left on her own terms. The problem I have with this apartment, however, is the room at the far end there. You can see that I've slept and showered. That's been a thing that was an experience, let me tell you, because all the rest of this apartment is so much personalised to Judy, and then you come to this room and it's pretty, well, anonymous. Yes, it's tidy. Yes, there's a bonsai in the corner. We've talked before about the neatness, which is a feature of Judy's personality, but I hadn't even noticed there was a shower symbol over this bath. That's an indication of how preoccupied I am every time I take this view in with being unable to block out the images of what we did see happen here. And that's why it's bittersweet coming back to this place, because it reminds me of the good things about Judy, but also the sad things about what happened too. And with that in mind, before we get moving, I'm just going to pop in here and use Judy's computer, because if memory serves, there are messages on here, and it's just the top one that I want to read again. I have read this before. It's unusual for me to read a message twice, but it's quite appropriate given what we've just said about Judy. Evie, I can't believe you're not here anymore. I regret everything I did and everything I didn't do. Why did I help you with the brain dance? Why did I let this gonk heist happen? Why didn't I see what you were up to until it was too late? Why didn't I protect you? I let you down, and I'll have to live with that for the rest of my life. Please forgive me. I know this is part of the reason clouds was the rest, why Judy decided she couldn't stay in Night City anymore. But it is so complex, this whole thing. I have the greatest memories of Judy in that she shared with me that dive to her former submerged home where she had those childhood memories that she needed to reconcile and share with someone and give context to before she could put it to rest and leave Night City. There's a ghost in this apartment for me too. The ghost in this apartment is really like the death of hope, I guess you'd call it. Up until the point where what happened to Evie happened, V was one way. After that day, and someone in the comments has actually just reached this point recently and had fed back to me about how they thought I'd changed after that point. After that day, it was like a switch was thrown inside V, and he decided that things couldn't go on as they were going on. He couldn't stand by and let this kind of thing happen again. It was too late for Evie, it was too late for Judy. And that's the sadness of it, I think. You're right, so while I'm here, look, I've got a computer in front of me that says net, and I'm making this thing at the moment, as you know, of using the internet. So let's see what websites Judy's got on here. I have not read this one. Let's do this one. Execution Time. Is your life missing gore? Do you fall asleep during horror movies where people clutching their disemboweled intestines feel like children's lullabies? Sounds like it's time for Execution Time, the only place to watch real executions in real time across the entire new United States of America. And that's not all. Watch convicts get decapitated, lethally injected, hanged, drowned and barbecued in the electric chair. Vote for how you want the next felon to meet their maker and win a prize. All broadcasts brought to you by Profit Prison Limited. Oh gosh, what have I just read there? Oh, that's horrid. That's really horrible. Let's look at this one. I don't think I've read this either. Your Island. Your Island. Man-made island developer. Live in your very own paradise. If only you could get away from the clamour and chrome of the city, throw everything away and live like a filthy rich hermit. Well, thanks to us, you can. 3 images not found there. YourIsland.co is offering you 15 brand new artificial islands in the Pacific Ocean. Every buyer gets around 3 square miles of snow white sands, cliffs and tropical vegetation, all resting on an elastic foundation capable of withstanding earthquakes of up to 8 on the Richter scale. Once you make your payment, the island will be yours and only yours. Its location on the open sea means that you can do whatever you want. Only you have the right to your own land, with no limits to what you can do. So, how about it? Want to get a taste of paradise and real freedom? That's almost chiming with what we were talking about recently in one of the introductions, when I was talking about does freedom exist or is it an illusion? Apparently, if you really want freedom, you've got to buy yourself one of these islands in the Pacific Ocean, of all places. Now, the other thing I want to do, and I've done a bit of thinking about this in between episodes as well, is to purchase a vehicle. So I'm going to go to AutoFixer. Right, here we go. We might as well read this. New vehicles available for purchase. If you're looking to buy a vehicle, simply hop onto the AutoFixer net page to browse what's currently available. You can access this net page from the computer in your apartment or from other computers throughout Night City marked with a car icon. A vehicle's picture may display an icon to indicate that it comes equipped with a built-in feature: machine gun, missile launcher, crystal coat customizer. As your street cred increases, AutoFixer will feature additional vehicles. You can also unlock vehicles by completing gigs for Muammar El Capitan Race, which we've done. Completing vehicle contracts for El Capitan will earn you a discount on the AutoFixer net page, which increases with each subsequent vehicle delivery. The discount resets when you purchase a vehicle from him. I am about to purchase a vehicle. Now, I've done a bit of thinking about this, and I've looked through the AutoFixer website in the intervening time between episodes because I wanted to save us a bit of time here, and I decided to go to the, I think it's called Makagai, is that website, and purchase, this may surprise you, a MyMy P126. It's not expensive, 13,420, 1,342 would be even better. Let's see what it says about it. The Makagai MyMy P126. Cute car, looking for a good home. She's sweet, pothole trained and great with kids. Very few accidents. Generally gets along well with other vehicles on the road. She'll help you make friends and even land some dates, but be warned, as small as she is, she knows how to put away the chew too. I honestly don't know where it all goes. So it's a gas guzzling vehicle. But they always talk about it like you're adopting a puppy, don't they? I'm going to click on buy. And that's happened. I've got nearly 3 million eddies, which I know isn't a great deal, but it's a lot of eddies for me. So yeah, I've bought a car. My. I don't know what it's going to be like, but it's something, one of those cars which I've admired several times in driving past them or encountering them on the road, and people have said, oh yeah, great car, you know, you should think about getting one of those, and I've put it off and put it off and put it off, and today it's happened. So for today's episode I'm going to be using the My, whatever that means, quite a bit. Let's get outside. I'm going to jump into the map. I'm going to pause and have an orange break, jump into the map. I'll be back with you in a second. Now, I said this was not an off-grid episode. Obviously I've looked on the map and have located a number of these side jobs which I'd like to investigate. I can't do it on a geographic basis necessarily because they're quite scattered, but then I have got a new car to help me travel between them, so I wasn't worried particularly about that aspect of it. The first one is way over here, northwest of where we are. All of them say the same thing: bits that won't make any major headlines, favours, straightforward tasks and chance encounters. And that's good, because that's the kind of activity I need today. So let's get moving. Before we do, I want to go into inventory for a couple of reasons. One is to show you this. In the weapons loadout, I've put the Mox power shotgun in slot 2 because I've been staying in Judy's apartment. This seemed to be an appropriate thing. I've kept the Overwatch, the power sniper rifle that Panam gave me, in slot 3, and it's just occurred to me that I might swap out my plan B as well and replace it with the Her Majesty pistol. So I've now got a loadout which is entirely comprised of guns that girls have given me. I mean, it just is. Alex gave me the Her Majesty. The Mox was a gift, another one from Judy that she left in her apartment for me to pick up, and Overwatch came from Panam, as we said. And in terms of things that people have given to me, this might seem a bit of a stretch, but in the grenade department I've put Ozob's nose, because we'll talk about Ozob a little, I'm sure, during the course of this episode. He's a thing, isn't he? I don't know what to call him. A comrade, a tune, a clown. Let's call him a clown, because he was a bit of a clown. And I just think it's an appropriate tribute to him that I put that there. Right, we are now ready to go. So, put your gun away. So, I'm going to call my newly purchased vehicle. There it is. There it is. I have no idea what this is going to be like. I've seen these things nipping around the city, and I've wanted one for so long. It's actually a 2-person vehicle? I hadn't even realised that. I thought it was just a 1-person thing. Now, quite what this is going to drive like, I haven't the foggiest. It's got the turning circle of a golf cart. I'm listening to the engine. Oh, it's got an engine. That's reassuring. It's not that far, actually, to where we've got to go. I thought it was further away than that. Okay, now this is quite sedate. I could handle this. Ah, the sound of the NCPD. It's just so nice to hear. It used to strike fear into my heart, but now it just makes you sleep sounder in bed at night, as I said. Right, let's pick a few things off. Let's start with Ozob and his demise. Yes, I mean, it was purely down to my lack of experience, my inexperience entirely in fighting, for that matter, by hand, that I couldn't cope with the Ozob fight. I realise now it's possible to deliver blows to different parts of the body. I wasn't really aiming for his nose. That's the thing. I was just hitting, thinking that by default that's where the blows went. You know, that there wasn't... Oops, gosh, this thing is a bit squirrely. There was no way of customising it, in other words, or deciding particularly where you were hitting on the body. it's purely down to the fact I haven't done it. I've avoided those sort of fisticuffs all the way through the playthrough. So V's just not very good at it, and Ozob paid the price. I would have to say that Ozob didn't have to do that. He didn't have to start a fight with V. It seemed a bit of a mischievous thing almost for him to do. Well, we are down at the docks. Okay, this is weird. I don't think I've been down here before. There's a ship over there. But yeah, poor Ozob, he bought it. He brought it on himself, I think. There wasn't much of a crowd either. Some people in the comments said, you know, he died and there was no one there to see it. He'll be largely forgotten. I won't forget Ozob, and I've got his grenade in my loadout to help me. There's the NCPD again, doing what they do. I have reached my destination. Kind of. Okay, let's park up. I think that's a nice car, can I just say? It didn't go very fast. I didn't really crash into anything. It felt very safe. It's small, so it doesn't take up much width on the road. I think I might get to like this car. Right, let's go. Where am I headed to? Is it this dude?
Mr. On, it is not mine! None of this me! Cold, dead metal! All of it! What have I done to deserve this? To fall victim to Hinsa? It itches. Should it itch? Why do I feel anything? It is nothing but I'm feeling metal.
Oh, dude.
Calm down. Forget your own soul. You must save his. Help! Someone please help me! Anyone!
This guy's got a lot to say for himself, isn't he? So this is a monk with implants. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's a monk with implants. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I've seen the signs that they've had implants but have removed them, I think. Perhaps, you know, in a former life they were not monks, and then that's one of the things they did when they became monks. I don't know. I mean, I can ask what happened, or I can say a monk with implants. I'm going to go with the bottom one because that's the question that popped into my head. He's not happy.
Are you okay?
No, V. He's not okay.
Don't you, take a vow against chipping implants?
Oh, vow.
Of course we do. You think I did this to myself? I apologize. I cannot bow in greeting. I am still adjusting to my situation.
Hold on. Somebody forced you.
Not just me. My brother, too.
They what?
They drugged us. Desecrated my body. And all the while, they mocked me. How can you do this to a fellow human being and still mock them?
This is horrible. I mean, that arm is gone. It's not a sort of superficial cyberware that's implanted on the surface of the skin and can be removed. Why would they do? Why would anybody do such a thing?
Makes no sense. Who'd go and do something like this? And why?
We were out begging for alms when they approached us. They laughed at us and asked if we would take implants as a donation. They looked more machine than human. They told us they would improve us like tools.
Maelstrom.
Oh yes, it does sound like Maelstrom, doesn't it? And I've just spotted a shard on the end of that table there. I don't know what to say into this situation. I mean, up to that point I just thought it was a heinous thing to do in the first place, but now I know it's Maelstrom that's done it as well.
How about your brother? You still with him?
Yes, I was first. Then they were trying to decide how to modify him. You look like someone who can reason with these people. I beg you, please, help my brother. I only hope it is not too late. I do not wish for him to end up like I have.
Oh, I'll reason with him, all right. And look at that bottom one. What's in it for me? No, not in this situation. I don't think you do it. I'm not going to say I'd rather not help. I'm not going to say I'm going to kill the people concerned. It's a monk I'm talking to here. I'm going to say that I am here to help him, because I am here to help him.
Fine, I'll help. But just so you know, things might get ugly. Maelstrom doesn't mess around.
That's okay.
There must be some other way. Help us, please. But without any bloodshed. I beg you.
I'll see what I can do. Either way, your brother's getting out.
I do not know how to thank you. They're keeping him in a shop just north of here. You shall find it next to the road along the docks.
How poetic. A monk in distress. They should include this in your epic.
Hey.
What are you gonna do? Cross your legs and meditate till they drop dead?
Wish you dropped dead.
I'm looking the other way. I'm sorry, that was V responding, not me. I'm doing it in character. It's what he would do in that situation. You're not being supportive. Look at him smiling there. Johnny's enjoying this guy's discomfort and our predicament at having to try to get his brother out without killing anybody. That's a tall order. Oh, shard. Let's do the shard. Okay. Buddhism and cyberware, a perspective. Interviewer: for most of us, the precepts of Buddhism seem baffling to say the least. How would you explain to the average night citizen why bhikkhus such as yourself are against implanting cybernetic technology into their bodies? Monk: it's not that we're against them per se. Every person has the right to make choices with their body so long as those choices don't harm another, though bhikkhu do abide by stricter rules such as abstaining from cyberware in order to achieve enlightenment. Interviewer: then what does your hesitation stem from? How do cybernetics affect your pursuit of enlightenment? Monk: well, short pause, among other things, it's their vague, fluid status, for lack of a better word. Ask yourself, what is an implant? A part of your body? An impersonal object? Interviewer: you're asking me. Suppose I'd say it depends? Monk: precisely. Bhikkhu limit their possessions to a robe, umbrella and a bowl for arms. Everything else is a distraction that hinders his or her release from the world's suffering. Let's say, for example, that a synthetic hand is just that, a hand, a part of your body. But if it has a watch installed in it, a blade? Interviewer: right, I think I understand. Where the line's drawn isn't completely clear. Monk: possessions, especially such intimate ones, are distractions that muddy the mind, that pull it further from inner peace. I believe the phenomenon of cyberpsychosis is proof enough of this truth. How interesting. That gives us a proper perspective on why he would feel so heinously affected and offended by what's just been done to him. Who wouldn't? I have a problem. He's asked me to not kill the Maelstrom who are holding his brother. Someone in the comments mentioned there is a mod called PAX, but I don't think I possess that mod. How on earth do I even look to find it? I've got to look in mods, attachments and mods, and then I've got to, that's a PAX, but I can't make it because I've got insufficient components. There's also this one which I can't make because I've got insufficient components. Oh, this is going to be a story, isn't it? I don't think I've got a tier 2 PAX at all, have I? Hemocide, bleed out. Are they alphabetical at all? No, they can't be if that one's called bleed out, can it? Right. Think. I've got 3 iconic weapons for a start in the slots, which means I can't mod those weapons. So therefore I need a gun that can be modded with a PAX, and I'm going to have to buy a PAX. That would seem to be the solution. I know I've just put the mocks in there, but let me hang on a second. I don't think I've got anything suitable here. The thing is, I've got an awful lot of iconic weapons, as you can see, because I've been getting rid of the non-iconic ones and keeping the iconic ones, and some of those I put into a stash too. Although I might have a non-iconic weapon in my stash. Can I access my stash? Why can't I? Have I got to go to the other end of the car? I'm trying to work out which I have as well. I've got to go to the front of this car to do this. Open my stash, please. What do I have? I've got a Liberty Tier 5 Plus power pistol with loads of empty slots. Empty scope, muzzle, and 2 empty mod slots. So I could transfer that out of my stash into my inventory, and then in my inventory, gosh, this is complicated, I can swap that out and put the Liberty in. It's actually not a bad pistol, as pistols go. But now I need... actually, there is a gunsmith not far away. I mean, I've got to hope he's got a PAX in. I think this is what I need to do. I haven't done this before, so I may get this wrong, and if you're shouting at the monitor to tell me I have got this wrong, I apologise.
I need to be alone.
This guy does not look like a salesman. I would say that.
Looking at you, can't help thinking retail just ain't your hobby. Ain't your calling.
You want to buy? Buy. You want to talk? Fuck
But
off.
now I know why NC Border Patrol turned you down.
I'm going to... I need
I'd like
guns.
to buy some iron.
I don't want to buy guns.
Buy some.
What I want to buy is an attachment mod. Does he have a PAX? He's got a tier 3 PAX. He doesn't have a tier 4. But that doesn't matter, does it? How much is it? I can afford that. 2,238 eddies is peanuts for what it's going to do for me. Thanks very much. You're a great guy. I love your establishment. I'll come back here often. I believe that. I believe anything. Right. I noticed that I've now got a different place to walk to here, and also I might have some red text too. Let me, before I do my equipping of the gun, pop into the journal. I do have red text. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Save the monk. You know, you could deal with our problems first, instead of helping every gonk that comes your way. This is Johnny. But, well, since you're so hell-bent on saving that monk in distress, Deltior over to the warehouse. Maybe you can still save him before they slice him. Kinda curious how you'll do it, actually. Gonna go in all tree-hugging pacifist? Or are you going to just get the job done? Well, I'm in the process, Johnny, actually, of trying to sort this out. I don't know whether it's going to work or not. Let's read about Maelstrom, since these are adversaries that we're about to face. Maelstrom. A gang that controls the districts of Watson and the Northside Industrial District, NID. You can easily recognise them by their intimidating faceplates and hostile optic implants, which not only indicates their gang affiliation, but also their fetishisation of cyberware and cyber modification. Looking at Maelstrom, you might think, now those are some bold pioneers of transhumanism. If they were only testing the limits of the human body on themselves, then you'd be right. Sadly, they also like to conduct experiments on those unfortunate enough to cross their path. Maelstrom is known for their exceptionally brutal and public gang executions. Combine that with illegal braindance production and a manic fighting style, and you've got yourself a gang with a reputation as a band of lunatics on the verge of cyberpsychosis. The truth is, there's nothing crazy about how Maelstrom operates. At the end of the day, it's all about biz. And the more rumours there are about them, the better. That tallies entirely with what we've experienced before of Maelstrom, and also what we've just been told by the monk. They like to conduct experiments on unfortunates who cross their path. It's almost like they're trying to convert these people, or they're doing these experiments on them rather than doing them on their own kind in case they go wrong. It just makes you shudder, doesn't it? Let's read about Northside itself. Northside Industrial District, NID. The Northside Industrial District, NID, was once an important area of Watson, with factories employing thousands of night citizens. Today it feels neglected and devoid of life. Most of the factories shut down, parts of buildings were damaged by earthquakes, and property developments left unfinished. The centre of the NID is divided by a row of towering apartment buildings purposely constructed to shield the wealthy from a pretty depressing view. They're occupied by mid-ranking workers that are still employed by the last remaining industries operating in the NID. With few prospects to cling to, these workers' only hope is that their employers don't close down, because outside of the NID, there is no future for them. As the local saying goes, once you're in Northside, there is no out. Of course, many also interpret this as meaning there's a high chance you'll catch a stray bullet from one of the area's ubiquitous maelstromers. It's a rough place. Well, I mean, the monk was... I don't know what the monk was doing there, whether he was caught somewhere else. I just don't know. But we have a task. Right, I need to go into my inventory because I've got some equipping to do. Now, what do I put on this thing for a start? Well, obviously, I'm going to put that, PAX. Because what the PAX does, and people were right about this, it makes the weapon non-lethal. Plus 20% damage outside of combat, negative 5% damage. It just stops it from killing the person who it's used on. So that's in a mod slot. I could put a scope on it. I mean a tier 4 Canone Mini MK72 short scope. A handyman. A Kanetsugo, is that? Type 2067. I've also got this. Oh, okay, so that's just a lesser version of the one I've got over here. A site designed by Militech, no bells, no whistles, just good, clean, standard issue functionality appeals to me. That can go in that slot. If I could put a silencer on it, that might be useful. I've got a CS1 Taipan Tier 4 silencer, plus 100% stealth damage, plus 5% damage reduction. I don't think that in any way counteracts the fact I've just put the packs in, does it? I don't think so. Let's put that in. Do I really need anything in this slot here? What have I got in this slot here? Plus 30% crit chance with ricochets. I've got that twice, 3 times in fact. Pyro converts 25% of dealt damage to thermal damage and gives a 9% chance to apply burn. Swiss cheese? Power weapon mod. This is a plus 10% armour penetration, plus 20% stamina cost per bullet. Parallax and some... The thing is, I'm not trying to kill them. So, do you know, I think I'll leave that slot empty. I think I'll leave that slot empty. And with that, I believe we can start moving. I have got a bunch of stuff to talk to you about, as I said, but I think I'm going to leave that to use up while we're driving places during the course of today's episode. It's a lovely day for this. It's lunchtime, actually. V's getting hungry. I probably ought to make sure I've got the right weapon equipped. No. No. Yes. I think that's it, isn't it? Let me just check my slots again. Yes, that's the one. That's a Liberty. That's what I've got. Okay. And we are approaching... Hello, we have an unfriendly to our side. I don't know where any of this lot goes. There are like enormous height to these buildings along the side of the pier here. I guess it was kind of for loading and unloading freight back in the day. These people are not going to be afraid of me because I've got this gun out, are they? There are stairs here. I don't know where they go. Do you know where they go? Shall we find out? They probably don't go anywhere, but I don't mind. I'll go and have a look. Let's do this. If nothing else, it's going to give us a vantage point from which to look out on this. We're going higher. It's a fabulous ship next to where we are. I'm getting dizzy doing this. It's a long way up, which means it's going to be a long way down. This had better go somewhere. Oh, I thought it stopped. No, we're still going. We're still going. Oh, we're not still going. Nevertheless, sensational view. Look at the oil field across the way there. It's way bigger than I thought it was. Also in the comments, I'm going to do this now. The subject of those structures that V saw when he was swimming in episode 60 keeps coming up, and what the purpose of those tall structures out at sea. There were numerous of them, they looked very similar, could have been. There was some speculation that it was to do with mines, because we know that mines were used extensively during the course of the wars, and they are a problem which has restricted seaborne travel ever since. That was one theory. I had a theory that there might have been something to do with power generation of some sort, or if not, I don't know whether it was tidal power or whatever, maybe there was some kind of tsunami defence, or, I mean, you can just go on forever, can't they? There can be some sort of offensive militaristic equipment that isn't specified and we don't know what they were meant to do, almost like forts, I guess, to guard the entrance. I'm not sure it's ever told, whether it's ever specified to us what it is they are, but yeah, that came up in the comments recently. I thought I'd mention that one. I am nearly there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's not good. Can I dash across this gap? He's going to see me, but gosh, his acuity meter filled up really quickly there. Did you see that? I was running across there and he still nearly got to the top of the red bar. Alright. I'd love to find a way in to this structure. This must be the warehouse that he was talking about. Save the monk. Losing my religion. Various comments have come in about the use of song titles by the devs and how appropriate they are to the action that's going on at the particular point that the song titles are used. They are really good. I've tried doing a bit of that myself, as you know, with maybe limited success. I don't know. But I do like their choice of songs, and actually it makes you re-listen to some of the songs. You've heard them all before, but it does make you actually seek them out and want to try them again. That could be a way in, on top of there. I haven't completely circumnavigated the building. What is this? Okay. The trouble with doors is you don't know what's the other side of them. I could open this door and there could be someone standing the other side of it, I guess, who's just not showing up for some reason on the minimap. I don't know. I don't know about that door. I'm minded to use the containers that I saw earlier and put my faith in them. I might do that. So I'm going to come across my dude again here, aren't I, if I go that way? Alright, I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to run to the back. And we'll try to climb in using those containers. What's the worst that could go wrong? Lots. Could go wrong. I paused there for an orange break. It's got very warm in here, by the way. The weather forecast appears to be wrong. 19 degrees. I don't think so. It's 23 out and 23 in already. It's going to get very warm again today. They do struggle at this time of year because the weather's so variable in this country. Last week we had hail, very strong winds, brilliant sunshine and high temperatures, and quite cool days, lots of rain as well, all mixed together within the same sort of 36-hour period. My son was sending me pictures of the weather where he was. It was so fierce, the hailstones that were coming down. But yeah, that's a thing. It's very warm in here. But the other thing is, whilst I was having my orange break, I thought about this business of non-lethal takedowns of various sorts. The only quick hack I'm sure of that I can rely on to do that is system collapse. All the other quick hacks, as far as I know, and I've asked this question before and opinion varies on it, I'm just going to say this now, All the other quick hacks can, because of damage over time, cause the assailant to die if they're used incorrectly and send their health below 0. Also, I've never used the Liberty with the packs attached, so it's an unproven weapon. I don't know how it works. To my mind, if you shoot the enemy in the wrong way, surely they're going to die anyway. I've been told that the red reticle crosshair indicates that they're alive and still a threat, and if it turns blue it means they're dead. I've also got to bear in mind the business of just sneaking up behind people and grabbing them and using non-lethal takedowns that way, which is probably the most effective and foolproof in terms of not killing them method of doing it. So I just don't know. I'm going to try my best for the monk, but in the past when I've been asked to do this by fixers and others who've engaged me for jobs and activities and gigs and whatever, I've set out intending to do this and then it's gone wrong and I've ended up grabbing a weapon and there've been fatalities. The thing is, you're now equipping yourself with this Liberty with a pack, so technically there shouldn't be, but I just don't know how it works. It's all new. It's a challenge. Right, our monk is in here, so 45 metres away is my... Ooh, there's somebody down there. Is my monk. Who are you? Tag, pink. Let's see what other company you're keeping. 1, 2, 3, 4 more, one of whom looks like he is coming my way. So I will stay here. Are you coming around the corner? Are you coming to see your friend? Maybe you are. They are. This is a gang of goon who's wanted for theft of valuable corporate property, selling stolen cyberware, illegally obtaining human remains, debt evasion. Whereas his friend is wanted for vandalism in a corporate zone, illegally obtaining human remains, battery, possession of military-grade pharmaceuticals. Lovely people. So there's 2 patrolling this end at least. Well, 1 patrolling. That one hasn't moved. But 1 is patrolling. Area hostile. Thank you. Abandoned warehouse. They're mocking the monk. They are. They're literally making... You
stole my fucking joke!
Jokes at his expense, I was about to say. That's the guy down here who's whinging.
So this is where they're keeping our fellow brother.
It is, V. Yes, it is. Heck. How do I get... Oh, there's a camera. Wait a minute. That guy's gone away. Quickly. Can we do anything here? I can get down. Get down. I'm making this up as I'm going along here. I haven't even got my weapon drawn. I'm going to sneak up on this one. I'm going to grab them. Drag them. Shush. And non-lethally take them out. Right. Now I'm going to... That guy's still round the corner. Climb up on this container. And... Can I grab the camera from here? Yes, I can. Quickly grab that camera. Let's see what we're dealing with. Oh, what are we dealing with? What are we dealing with? This is the bit where I've just been. There's my body, which I haven't looted. But they're not dead. She's moving. She's moving. Excellent. Next camera.
Fuck, gotta break it! Nail that meat back to the wall!
Yeah.
Let me out of here!
He's going to discover that body. Oh, he's going to discover the body. He's gone round the corner. Has he found it? He's found the body.
Think you're clever, huh?
No, not particularly. That's what I was saying. I'm just doing my best. I always say that. I do my best. It's just that sometimes my best isn't very good. Okay? And I'm well aware of that. Yeah, he's on his guard now, which is going to make life somewhat difficult. As I was saying, there is a camera. Let me try and identify the rest of these people. He's not going to be on his own. Camera control, take it. Alrighty. That one we've done. This one I was doing when I gave up because I spotted him coming around the corner to find the body. Here we go. Here we go. Who are you? Shard there. Ooh, remember that, everybody. There's a shard there. This is a Ganga Ironstormer. He is wanted for felony copyright infringement, battery of a public official, distribution of military-grade pharmaceuticals, vandalism of corporate zone, theft of valuable corporate property, unlawful confinement, which he's doing now, of course, assault, forced cyberware installation. This is our guy. He's the leader, I guess. Look at his abilities too. Tag. Do you have any friends? There are explodables here and I can't use them. Yes, you do have friends. You have this friend who is a Gangagoon. Assault by mob, battery of an NCPD officer, selling stolen cyberware and illegally obtaining human remains. I thought there were... Wasn't there a guy outside as well? He would be at the opposite end of the building. He'll be out here and I can't see through there. And I'm out of cameras. I'm out of cameras. Alright, so we need to take the next guy out. The guy who was doing patrol and is no longer. He's gone down there. Alright, I'm going to jump over here. That was a good jump. I'm going to drop down here. Why is he dancing? Oh, maybe he's taken a substance of some sort. I'm going to creep up behind him. I'm going to grab him. I'll drag him back this way. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Right back here, my friend. And non-lethal. Well, this is so nerve-wracking. This is so nerve-wracking. I'll loot his body now. I know I've got a body still to loot round the far end. That I have realised. Oh no, these two are going to be tricky. As long as they stay facing the way they are, I stand a chance of taking them out. I'm watching their vision cones in the minimap and trying to work out whether I stand a small chance. Is that a camera there? That is a camera there. Let's take that one again. There he is. Oh, there's my monk. There's Bhikkhu. He is just facing that way. Then I should be alright. As long as that guy stays busy over there. This is nerve-wracking. This is very nerve-wracking. Let me take him out. Please grab. Non-lethal while we're standing. Leave him quickly. And just go for this guy over here. Before he turns round. And grab. Non-lethal while we're standing. Alright, there is still one left on the minimap. It is the guy who was outside who saw me. I'll take your components. I will loot this guy too. I'm coming back for you in a moment, monk. Meantime, I'm going to, because it's safe now to do so. I've got another shard. I have another shard, so there's one there. This one I've read already, reading your understanding your team, but there was one over there too, wasn't there? Shard vest. Yes, that's a reward. Whilst I'm not required elsewhere, I'm going to go looting. That's not lootable. That's a microwave. I probably could have used distraction. There's that other door I saw from the outside. There it is. Oh, there are people across the road there who I wish were not looking at me now, so I'm not going to go that way. I'll probably go out the front way, because I think I'm going to deal with that other guy too, although maybe I could sneak the monk out sideways and not have to. It does seem a shame not to get a full set though, doesn't it? You know, to collect all of them. Hi, you're not going to need that anymore, so I'll take your tier 5 components, thanks. Very kind of you. Let's go. Scanning as we go. I do want to talk to the monk, but I also want to deal with the guy who's outside. So I might defer dealing with the monk until I've done that. Well, presumably this way, because there's that other container I said we could go out through. In which case, stay there whilst I do this. He's kind of facing the wrong way. It might be possible. Yes, it might. Sneaky, sneaky. I mean, he's getting drunk anyway, so he won't notice. And down you go, non-lethally. Gangoons defeated, and we didn't kill a one of them. No need to pick up the bodies because they're the only people here. Let's go shard hunting.
Do not do this! Incantations against my beliefs. Please!
Okay.
I do not want them.
We may have to do this first. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Let's go and do the shard that was behind us. I probably won't get close enough to the other one to do it before he starts talking to me though. Caught in the maelstrom. I'm stood in the middle of Tottentan's, my knuckles white, tightly gripped on Achilles' M179E rifle. It was shoved into my hands just seconds before the attack. My face, arms and thin leather jacket soaked in the blood and brain matter of the psycho I had just shot. My contact, a 30-year-old maelstromer with a green mohawk, patted me on the shoulder. "Man, Phil, you ain't half," he tells me appreciatively. "Took you for a... but you got to admit, you got some steel after all. And don't worry about that sad scrap heap. If there ain't at least 20 bodies, you can't call it a maelstrom party." What had already been an unsettling experience took a turn to a whole other level. The other maelstromers continued to mock me, but I could detect a tone of approval through all the vocal distortion. My mohawked contact even proposed that they install in me one of their distinct rudimentary implants. Fortunately, they didn't have in mind their iconic optics suite, so I accepted. My popularity continued to grow. "No way you'd get the maelstrom mug so easy," he laughs. "That tech's only for initiates. We pluck out their eyes and peel back the skin. No anaesthetics. You survive, you're in." With the atmosphere now more relaxed, I asked if the rumours had been true. Do they accept contract killings? My mohawked source nodded with enthusiasm. "Oh yeah, we make good scratch and it's great morale booster. You know, machines ain't bothered with a mess of feelings and that's what we aim for. Doing hit jobs like that helps us gouge out all the gooey emotions we still got left. Recently this one guy got all whiny and snot-nosed just because we roasted some kid. I told him, I said, dude, you'd better relive some suppressor, BD and fast or Bossman's gonna blow your head off." The gonk should have listened. As I listened to his explanations and anecdotes, I realised that amusement clearly must not be one of their blacklisted emotions. And then I couldn't help but wonder, are machines capable of laughter? Yes, it's the aspirational thing, isn't it, for Maelstrom? And we see paraphernalia there associated with their work. There is a laptop here, which I should avail myself of, and I'll go do this. Let's use this. I have messages, barely one. Oh, it's for Forever Young. Oh, okay. Well, we've read that one. So that's actually not an important one for us to take on now. But it fits again, doesn't it, with the Maelstromers? Slowing the effects of ageing. Okay. There is one over here which I'd hope to get to before I have to engage this guy in speech, but I'm not sure if he's going to let me. Can I pick it up? No, I can't. I'll have to talk to him first. Let's do this. You are safe.
Calm down. It's over now. I'm not with them.
So, what are you doing here? What happened?
Well, your brother did send me, but first, let's do a quick checkup. Have you still got all your bits?
Glad I got here in time. Are you okay? Did they do anything to you?
I was lucky. They could not decide which implant would be funnier.
Cyber psychos. The lot of them.
One of them wanted to remove my jaw. The thought itself gave me shivers.
You and me both.
Thankfully, did not get the chance. To what do I owe this intervention of yours?
Oh, now I can tell him. Your brother sent me.
Was walking by, caught some lame jokes about metal monks. Thing about Maelstrom, they're never just joking. Nah, the truth, your brother sent me. He didn't want the same thing to happen to you.
From the bottom of my soul, thank you. I'm especially grateful nobody was killed.
Yes.
May you continue on the path of peace. What compels these monsters is of no consequence. It is not up to us to judge what they deserve.
That is very forgiving of you. I'd like to know how you got taken by Maelstrom. Were you in the wrong place at the wrong time? Did you deliberately come into this area on some sort of, I don't know, devotional mission?
How'd you even get taken by Maelstrom? Most people avoid him like the plague.
We are here as strangers. We wander from place to place. When we arrived in Night City, we had no time to identify its dangers.
I can sympathize with
Don't
you
monks
there.
live in monasteries?
It used to be they did not. My brother and I belong to a group that follows the earliest Buddhist teachings. It is an interesting life. We have met many unusual people.
Yes,
Yeah, so I see.
the wrong ones.
There's no need for sarcasm. We know the world is dangerous. But if one takes no risks, one will never know what lies beyond their front door. I'm sure you understand.
V has taken quite a number of risks in his time. He does thoroughly understand this. The good news is your brother's waiting for you. The bad news is they did get to do stuff to him.
Your brother's waiting for you. Not far from here.
First I must catch my breath, and then I shall go. It is him who shall need saving now.
Look who's taken the righteous path. If you're so afraid of killing, maybe you should have become a monk instead of a merc.
Killing isn't the solution to everything.
If you want to change the world, there's always a price to be paid. As for these chrome fucks, you think they got all this gear by sitting around going,
If they had enough to spare on monks, then surely they don't need all of it.
Yeah, you've no answer to that one, have you, Johnny? I've actually shut him up. That's a really interesting quest, that was. Can I get to that now? Can I get to that shard? Yes, I can. Let's have a look at this. Now, this word can be said in one of two ways, tinnitus or tinnitus. Tinnitus, music, ? Review, an attempt. Right, so I've never had a problem like this before. I learned members of the Maelstrom gang perceive the music from their favourite band Tinnitus differently than the average listener. Those crazy uber-chromed describe these tunes with terms like complexity, range and depth of sound. Those aren't quite the words I would use. Music can contain noise, but in this case the noise does not contain music. I don't know, that's the best I can describe it. Now I've got two leading theories on this. Theory number one, since tinnitus only play at the Tottentowns, the acoustics could be the cause. Problem? Maelstrom's a group of hyper-violent psycho. I'm not going to rust my good rep by jamming out at one of their live shows. How can I confirm my theory if I don't go check it out firsthand? Theory number two, hallucinatory agents. Maybe tinnitus has its own homebrew chemical cocktail designed to pair with their music for some whole experience. To be honest, I don't think I want to find out, because if number two is true, then I'll be risking a drug-induced nervous cis meltdown for the sake of music science journalism. That really worth it, Tubes? Jesus, guys, music doesn't need to be this complicated. I really do like that. That's really good. Well, I think we've achieved. I think we've done what we set out to do. We came in here and we've non-lethally, moreover, dealt with these people. And we've freed our second link. It did say that the job was complete, so I don't think we have to go and report back to the brother, although my monkey's now making his way out of here. This one? Oh, we've read that. Understanding your teen. We have seen.
You're listening to 98.7.
I think we can follow him and see where he goes. Shall we do this? It says meet Hanako at Embers. Just a minute while I pop into the journal and get rid of that line, because I'm not going to be going to meet Hanako at Embers today. Here he goes. I'd love to know where he's going. He doesn't want me to hurt these people, but he has no qualms about stepping on them as he goes on his way. I don't know that he's going to go and find his brother. He might be, though. I'm consumed with curiosity now as to whether he does. He's going the right way. I don't think I can still talk to him. Perhaps he's going for a swim. I was joking. Please don't go for a swim. Where's he going? No! I've just rescued you. What? What are you doing? Oh, he's just communing. He's doing a misty. Oh, right. I see. He's meditating, I believe. I am going to leave him to his devices. Okay, I am going to take a break and have another look at the map. I'll be back with you in a second. Right, I'm back. I've advanced time to early morning of the following day. It's 8:30. I do this deliberately because I like doing these sorts of activities in daylight. I'm not keen of taking them on in nighttime conditions if I can avoid it, and I don't know how long each of them is going to be. I've been on the map, by the way, and I've already selected the next of the ones that I looked at in between episodes and chose as ones that I wanted to try out. I've chosen them on the basis of geography and nothing else because they don't tell me anything about what they involve. This one I picked because I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's out at the Aldecado camp. That's where I believe this is. And again, it just says nothing about the side job. We won't find out until we get there, but driving there will give us a chance to do some picking out of comments from last time's video and videos before. So let's do this. Also, I get to drive the My, not into the river, hopefully. We're off. I don't think it's got a very fast top speed. This is fairly flat and straight. Oh, it accelerates okay. Please keep out the way, people. I'm not really qualified yet. I've not been checked out in this vehicle for driving purposes. Right, let's talk. The roller coaster. I'm going back over a few episodes here for these comments. I've been saving them up. Some people pointed out that in their playthroughs they actually have driven motorcycles on the track of the roller coaster. I found that incredible. It was never a thing that would have occurred to me to do at all. And also Eddie, who we met, who was Deddy, as I pointed out. I've gone the wrong way. Eddie, there was a question as to whether he should be celebrated in some way. Pacifica needs its folk heroes, in other words, and, oh goodness me, I nearly bent it. Whether he should be immortalised in song, perhaps bards.
Hey, what's up?
Heading to the Aldecado camp, I think. If I've got my geography right, Johnny, we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, whether he should be immortalised in a kind of Robin Hood sense, I guess.
I will chop you into
Heavens above, that was me saying how peaceful it is around here. Everybody seems to want to set on me. This is a great little car. It's got terrific road holding, and I didn't realise that. And it's so nippy at getting in between other cars. So yeah, I would like to think that would happen for Eddie, our dear departed motorcyclist, that, you know, he would become spoken of in hallowed terms. Pacifica needs something like the bar where, you know, Jackie made his mark by having his drink immortalised. It needs something like that. The afterlife, I think, has a place in Pacifica. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The next thing was President Myers. It's a whole mixture of comments here, and presidential terms in particular. One of the commenters worked out that Myers has served 12 years as Noosa president, and that means, of course, she's in her third term of presidency. Now, I'm not totally versed in the modern rules and regulations regarding the durations of presidencies, but I get the feeling that means things have changed somehow. And it raises the question as to who was the person who caused the change to come about. Was it Myers herself who did this? I don't know. I'm not sure if there's any law that tells us how it happened, but it's a fascinating thing to consider. Perhaps she is just very popular, and that's why she's remained in power for so long. Or maybe she's remained in power for so long because she's engineered it to be that way. That's a consideration. Next thing, libraries. I told you this was a really weird selection of things, but I've been saving them for a while. One of the very kind commentators in the comment section said in their feedback that in Cyberpunk 2 it would be great if there was a library, a public library, where there could be a librarian who was responsible for looking after shards. In other words, protecting knowledge and lore from being destroyed or otherwise lost to time. And it just got me thinking about this, because apparently, and I don't think I've seen it, there is a library in Cyberpunk, but I don't think it's publicly accessible. I don't believe you can actually go into this library. So, partly feature request for Cyberpunk 2, I guess, the idea that wouldn't that be great if you could have one. But that started me also thinking about what other public amenities and facilities are missing from Night City. Not just a library that people could actually access and use. It would be a fantastic thing, as is now the case, you know, that if someone doesn't have access to the net, for instance, then at least by going to a library they could gain access when they needed to and be able to do things they had to. And that's certainly true in 2077 just as it is today, that it will be a public service to do this. And I hope you've noticed, by the way, that the distance between where we are and the place we're travelling to isn't going down very quickly. It's because it's a kind of dog leg. The map distance between where we were and where we're going was actually relatively short, but the road distance, because we've got to go all around the houses to get there, is quite substantial. We're starting to get to places we know though. We're heading out of the city now towards the area where it turns into the desert, so that's good progress. Okay, next thing then. Yeah, this thing I wanted to ask you about, perhaps maybe you could feed back in the comments about this, the business of public amenities. What else do you think is missing in Night City that should be there, really, and would be fun to have if it was? We know we've got a metro station, or several of them, and a metro line, but what else do you think is missing? Next thing from the feedback, I've got a massive list here. The thing about matching people to tarot cards. Ever since I saw Misty, a number of people have been chipping in with their ideas about which cards refer to which people or person in the game. And there's been some degree of difference in opinion about the matchups and some degree of correlation in what people have suggested. But I keep referring to the fact that they are tarot cards. The ambiguity of the tarot cards is where the fun lies. It gives us the ability and permission to just use our imaginations and think who it is we'd like them to match up to. If they were too descriptive, if it was too obvious who each tarot related to, then the fun of collecting them in the first place would be lost, because you'd have obvious solutions immediately. And I'm going onto desert roads now with my. I've enjoyed driving this car. Can I just say it's a very relaxing drive to be able to talk to you and drive at the same time. Excuse me for a second. What's going on here? I have got some Militech infantry scouts pointing weapons at people on the floor who are Aldecados. Oh, we can't let this pass. Now, no. Here's my packs attached to this. Now, I'm awfully confused here. So look, the crosshair is red, yeah? Which means they're still alive and still a threat. And they are a threat, as we can see. If I deal with them... maybe... Oh god, this sounds awful. I've got to try shooting them in different ways to see what happens. But I have a feeling that they'll take exception to this and then come after me. Well, one shot from this won't do it, will it? I don't think it will. Let's try it and see. No, it didn't. 2 shots did.
Hello?
And 2 shots did. But my Militech people. No. My Aldecados are dead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I've got to run away. Quick. Get out of here. As fast as we possibly can. Oh, there's something wrong with my car. The doors haven't closed. Is it supposed to do that? I don't know. If they come after me... Oh, I think I'm going to have to go off-road because there's another vehicle there. I can't go off-road in this. It's not built for it. Oh, it's going the other way. Oh, I'm in a sandwich. I'm going to go this way. This is where we find out how my performs on desert terrain. Oh, I think I've just eluded them. I think I did. Their visibility cone detecting me.
All units in the area, order has been restored. All units instructed to return to patrol.
Expired. I don't seem to have the same number of doors in the same places I had when I set out. I've caused damage to my. Oh, rocks. My. I'm probably saying the word wrongly. It's probably Mimi or something like that. There is a vehicle behind me, you're correct, but I'm not doing that today. I said there is going to be an episode where I focus on more car-related stuff. I mean, this is car-related stuff, but not quite what I meant by that. Yeah, I don't know if that worked or not. I don't know whether those guys were dead. I also don't think I had to go that way there, did I? Any of these roads will do. I can carry on down here and turn at the top, I think, and just get to exactly the same result. So I'm going to do that here at the next turn to save all that backwards and forwarding in my. It's a wreck. I've destroyed the car. I've only just got it. What's it like at speed on sand? This should be alright. Oh, it's not good at speed on sand. Oh, it's very slippery. I think you're alright if it's pointing in a straight line, but the minute it starts to get any turn on the wheel, it gets very back heavy and wants to slide everywhere. It's a fun car though. I can see why those people who recommended it to me. Yeah, what else should we talk about now? Yes, the double glitch that I had in the Ozob episode with my bike. The first glitch that happened was where it wouldn't allow me to go any further forwards towards where Ozob and his friend, who was sort of marshalling the fight, were standing. And someone said this happens in combat zones routinely, and it counted it as a kind of combat zone because there was a fight that was about to happen. So I understand that now, why the bike wouldn't allow me to go any further. However, the second glitch that I had when I was down with the bike on the road and I tried to walk towards it and it simply threw me backwards repeatedly, that was a glitch, and reloading was the only thing that solved it. It also happens on PC. I took my eyes off the road. I've been told it also happens on PC. He said, trying to get the bike back up, the car. I'm living in a nightmare now where I think this is a bike. Back on the road. Apparently it happens on PC as well, so I don't feel too lonely in that respect. And it was, most importantly, nothing I'd done wrong, because I was starting to think to myself it was me. I'd done something stupid, and that was why the game wasn't letting me get to my bike. No, it wasn't that at all. I think this is the Aldecado Camp Road. I think it is. I'm basing this on the map showing the cluster of things that are there. In that I've got an apartment. Well, I've got a tent at the Aldecado's place, haven't I now? Because they gave that to me. There is a weapon shop, and there's also a Ripper dock. And a fast travel point. Nomad camp, fast travel. This is it. This is it. I can't quite... Yeah, I should have gone that way. Well, I mean, I might scratch the paintwork going this way, going past all these cacti. Oh, so terrible with that. Ooh. Wow. Okay. I think I might have to park up and get out here, but because my car is so small, I can get... Oh, it's stopped. I can get pretty close, I was going to say. Right, let's go in. Now there are folks to talk to here, and I'm not going to talk to them at this moment because I want to get to the location for this side job kicking off and see what it involves. And also I'm pretty sure Panam is not here.
How's Jake holding up?
Not so great. We managed to stem the bleeding, but without that implant.
Okay.
We'll handle it. Don't ask me how, but we will. I give you my word.
Right. Bob is being reassuring to Emily about Jake. Jake Scooter is not well, which is why he's curled up facing away from us on there. Emily is Emily Scooter. This now all makes sense. I'm guessing spouse. Very concerned. And Bob is just Bob. Everyone knows Bob. He's an avocado as well, who's wanted for blackmail, debt evasion, assault by mob, assaulting a public official, and battery of a public official. But he's an avocado, so on our team as such. I can talk to Bob. Let me get in front of Bob so we can see Bob. Bob, what's going on?
What's going on?
Jake got hit. Badly. He needs a new kidney as of this minute.
Wow.
Only problem is, he's got sickle cell anemia. He'll need a specially customized kidney implant. As you can imagine, that kind of thing isn't easy to come by out here in the Badlands.
Yeah, I can completely imagine that. How did he sustain the injury? And was it the Raff and Shiv? I'd be very surprised if it wasn't Raff and Shiv.
Raff and Shiv. Were they the ones behind this?
Mm-hmm. We pulled through this time. Barely. Shrapnel caught Jake half an inch below his flak jacket.
That's bad. Then.
That's a tough break.
It really is.
It still isn't too late to save him. But time's running out.
He needs a special kidney because of his condition. But surely in the city there'll be one.
You can find an implant like that in Night City. No questions asked.
Right. Dakota called up her contact at one of the hospitals.
Dakota?
Was told they could work something out.
But
that means getting to the city, and you see the state the camp's in. Raff and Shiv could come back at any moment. It's all hands on deck. You know where this is going, V.
I think I do.
I won't beat around the bush. Can you help us?
I'm sorry, but I can't. No, you can count on me, Bob.
You can count on me.
I know, V. Dakota's contact works at a hospital in Little China. All you have to do is pick up the implant. The money will take a more secure route.
Gotcha. See you later then.
All right, we have a job called Fortunate Son, which we can track. So let's pop into the journal and see if we've got text to go with it. We do. Fortunate Son. Go to the meeting with the hospital employee. This is Johnny's take on it. Kidney failure? In the city, nothing that a stack of eddies and a few minutes won't solve. But in the Badlands, a death sentence. That is, unless a gentle soul somewhere feels like playing guardian angel. Someone that'll get him the implant he needs before it's too late. Well, V, think there's anyone out there like that? Johnny was very mocking of V in the outcome of the monk rescue that we did. I don't think that was necessary. And this thing about V becoming more pacifist in the way that he deals with enemies. Also, Johnny, was that really needed? I'm not sure it was. I think there is someone out there like that. Yes, and I think it's us. It's V. Let's read about Little China. Little China. In the 40s, this part of Watson aspired to be the next city centre. Corps invested heavily in the area, putting up towers and cutting-edge clinics such as the Med Centre. That's where you slap down your cred chip for implants, that is if you wanted to get them legally. But soon enough, this neighbourhood became populated with immigrants, mostly from China, hence the name. Over the next few decades, the district became increasingly more populated and diverged from its original plans. Today, Little China is considered a poor district, but its food, smells, neon lights, tucked away little shops and overall atmosphere draws the crowds. Even low-ranking corpos drop in to gamble and put Eurodollar bills into thongs. The sight of suits strolling past the homeless also shouldn't take anyone here by surprise. Little China. Let's read about the Aldecados. I may have read this before, but I want to read it again. Aldecados. One of the oldest nomad nations, founded by Juan Aldecado, who fought a ruthless war at the tail end of the 1990s against the gangs of ruling LA. He formed the Neighborhood Watch, which numbered 5,000 people by the time it left the city, and was known for its emphasis on family values, in whose name Juan launched his uprising against ineffective police and corrupt media. The Aldecados currently consist of a few dozen families spread out around America that are constantly on the move, and there are some. Excellent. Right, we have spoken to Bob, we've read the red text. It's time for us to head off and meet the hospital employee. We're on a mission of mercy here. I want to stop and...
Yeah. I got nothing to lose. You took everything from me, cocksucker.
Oh dear. I want to stop and talk to the people in the camp because they're my tombs after all. They're Aldecados, and I'm kind of an Aldecado now because I got, made into an Aldecado, if that's what you want to call it. But I can't do that at the moment because we're again time here, and we've got someone suffering. I can't go backwards. It won't let me reverse. I need to turn around here, I think, before I can go to... Uh-oh. My car won't reverse. It will go forwards. It can go round in... Oh, it won't go forwards now. It will only reverse. Oh, I think I've got a glitch. My car's totally trapped. I can't do anything with it. Get out, V. You don't want your car breaking down in a situation like this, where time is of the essence. I can't call another vehicle? I'm going to run towards the road, and hopefully, if this is a glitch of some sort, it will clear itself in the process. There's the fire. I know where that is. That's on the corner where I turned, so if I head towards that, I'm heading in the right direction. I still don't have the ability to call another vehicle. Oh man, this is not good. Now I do. Do I call the My again? Where? What just happened? Where is my 200 and... Oh, it's approaching at the top according to this. It's not on the radar yet. Keep running towards the road. 168 metres away, it said. I don't see my... Oh, there it is. Right at the very top of the minimap. Look, it's actually off the edge of the map. It's so far away. There it is. Now we have it. Phew. Has it been mended? Is my next question. Does it have doors? I've always found doors useful on cars. Yes! I've got 2 doors back. Excellent. Let's get in. Right. And it's working too. For some reason it's put me into... as if I'm actually in the car view. I'd rather be able to see what the car's doing because it is very slippery on sand, this car. It's okay until you get up some speed. This is what I'm finding. And then if you put in a tiny left or right like this, it slides like nobody's business. Wait. Don't wreck it. You've only just got it back. It's not a racing car. Although it is kicking up plenty of dust. It's a fun vehicle. I get the point that people were making about, the My being a one-off. It's so small. It is a fun vehicle to drive. It reminds me of Fiat 500 in a way because I've driven a couple of those in real life. And they are great fun cars in my opinion. They are only 2-door, rather like this is. And although they are 4-seater vehicles, and you have to climb in through the big front door to get into the back, which as people get bigger is more of an issue, it sort of argues towards having a 4-door vehicle rather than a 2-door. But yeah, great fun. And this is a fun car. I'd have to say, it doesn't go very fast and it doesn't go very straight. I just took my eyes off the screen for a second to look down at the corner to see what the speedometer was saying, and the car had gone. it said, no, you either pay attention or I'm going to go off-road. This is my turn, although I don't need to make this turn, do I? Because it's doing the same thing again. It's sending me back with dog legs that I don't really need to have made. I could have straightened this bit out, but hey, it's a good practice in cornering.
What's our move?
Well, to try... Oh, hang on. I've chopped that one off. To try to get back in one piece, Johnny, we've got to go and pick up this kidney from this guy at the hospital. Well, at least I hope we're going to. He might be dodgy, I suppose, but then Dakota. She's such a friend of the Aldecados, is she not? She's always been on the lookout for Aldecados. She contacted V when I first came to the Badlands. She contacted me to sort of establish who I was, and when she found out I was a nomad too, there was this kinship that was established, so it was really good, that. It doesn't surprise me at all that Dakota would be the person who they'd turn to, saying we've got a problem, and she's fixed it for them. Kind of, maybe. All depends on if we can get this kidney and get back to Bob to give it to Jake. I presume they've got medical facilities. I didn't ask who's going to be doctor. Perhaps he's reading the book while we're away. How to do this, I have no idea. I like the Mime, actually. Good car. Right, we're heading back into the city and we've got 3.5 kilometres to go, Rancho Coronado. Let's pick something else off the list. I was talking about freedom and whether people are free, whether it exists or not. And in the comments, someone made an interesting point that maybe the poor are the only free people in Night City. And when you think about that, it does make sense, because everyone else who isn't poor in Night City, presumably, you know, they're working, they have obligations, they have expectations placed on them by their employers and by society in general, and therefore their freedom is restricted, it's limited. You might argue, yes, but they've got the income, so they are paying a price in a way. They're free to do certain things because they can afford to, by virtue of having their income, their wages, but not free in other ways because of the time commitment and other things which they sign up to lead the corporate life. All of which is true. But I think the point that was being made was that the poor people and those who are disenfranchised are largely ignored by Night City. I say largely, I'll come back to that in a minute. And because they're under the radar, because they are of, and I hate to say this, no significance in terms of contribution to Night City, they are largely missed out. They're not expected to conform in particular ways at particular times to social norms. They don't have a function, and therefore they're left to their own devices to a large degree, which means an element of freedom, I guess. They get to choose within limits, because again, finances are a thing, how to spend their time, where to go, what to do. There is a downside to this though, of course, because we know, for instance, that the fumigation of the underground that occurred in Night City was an attempt to eliminate these people, to get rid of them completely from being a problem for the area. So it's freedom, but it's not complete absence from existing and being on the radar of everything and everybody in Night City. In fact, in some ways, it attracts some attention and can lead to problems. But I thought it was a really interesting point, that the idea that, you know, freedom is different things to different people depending on your situation, and that's certainly true in life generally, not just in Cyberpunk. When you retire, and those people who are getting older watching this will probably understand where I'm coming from here, there's this impression that you have more freedom because you're not going to work every day, and that certainly is true. On the other hand, you do have obligations, and some of these are things that you take on, you know, because it's the ability to be able to do these things now, which wasn't there before. But it is almost like having work to do. It's not a freedom as such. But it's a fascinating subject, and I think, you know, the dystopia that we were talking about and how Mike Pondsmith envisaged these things unravelling, the one element that's common across many aspects of it is freedom, or the lack of it. And talking of which, we have arrived at our destination. I think I'm going to park cheekily on the pavement here because I've had problems with my car. If anybody asks me, I'm having car problems. That's why I've parked there. We are at the rear of the hospital, since it says no entry. Go to the meeting with the employee. I'm about to do this. I'm guessing. Scanning. This could be my employee. Scan results. Contact. No affiliation. No affiliation. That's a worry. My mark is actually slightly over to the side there, but I'm guessing this is my dude. This is my dude. Meet with a hospital employee. This I shall do. And I've just said this is a mercy mission and we mustn't waste time. But on the other hand, nor do I want to completely ignore the fact that I'm in a very interesting area here with all these barrels and crates and apparently pallets stacked high at the back of them. I don't know there's going to be any collectibles here, but there might be. Maybe I can nip behind him and have a quick look. Down here. Also, I'm just making sure we're not going to get any nasty surprises because we've had those. And these things are seldom straightforward. Why is there like the top of a trauma team container or something there? We cannot gain entrance. I will now go to talk to this person. I am guessing that object is indeed a cyberware case. Contents: high quality cyberware. Manufacturers: Biotech, Sigma, Donner and Savage. And the device function is the storage of high quality internal organ implants. Bingo. Please don't smoke near it. That's not God. Oh, here we go. Contact. He called out to me. You there, sir. Did Dakota send you? Yes.
That's right. You got the goods?
Right here. Dynalar Super Kidney.
Great.
Especially for sickle cell anemics. Just like we agreed.
Splendid. Take the briefcase with the implant. Job done. The money's coming by a separate route, apparently.
Hey, these will get to you in.
Yeah, yes. Later, I know. I have to go now.
They never make it easy, do they?
What's just happened? What's just happened? I didn't...
Come on!
I don't know what's going on. Defeat the police?
Fuck! Get it around and hand it to us out here!
I'm defeating the police. I mean, this goes against my better wishes, and I may not be using the right weapon. Hang on. Wait, stop. Inventory. What weapon am I using? Am I... Oh, God. I'm using the wrong weapon. But then they are attacking me. And, interestingly, you're calling out NCPD, but I'm not getting a wanted level for doing this. That was a big mistake, putting your head out round that corner. I've defeated the police and I've got no wanted level for doing so. This is getting weird. I'm going to go and look at these people and see if they've got anything on their body identifying them beyond what I think they are. He's still alive. I think he's still alive. They're all moving. Oh, he may not be. No, he's moving too. And so's he. I think they're all still alive. But my dude here, I think I'll put my gun away just for the moment. I don't want an accident here. I've got to talk to the hospital employee and you've got some explaining to do.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Why shouldn't I? I've put the gun away already. I've decided I'm not shooting you because I want an explanation for what just happened.
I won't if you can give me an explanation. And it better be fucking good.
The phone call with Dakota. It was tapped. The police. They made me do it.
Nice try. Badges wouldn't go to all that trouble over a kidney implant.
Wait, please! It's the truth. They said they were rounding up every last Raff and Shiv member in Night City.
But Dakota isn't... Oh, fuck it. Never mind. You won't get it.
Please let me go. I didn't want to get mixed up in this. I had no choice.
Oh, what do I do? I asked the question, has anyone tampered with the implant? Obviously. I've got to choose between sparing him, not letting him get away, or asking about this as well. This has got to be asked.
No one's touched this implant apart from you, right?
I can't say for certain.
Think carefully now. I don't want to have to jack into you and find out for myself.
The police, they put a virus on the super kidney. The original firmware is on this shard. You'll need to swap them out.
Take the shard. I am going to tell him because he's given me the shard and the information, and because apparently I'm trying not to kill people today. I mean, I didn't know this was going to be a theme all the way through, but there you go. Get out of my sight. Go on, Scarpa.
Get out of my sight.
Oh,
be away.
Mother of God. Thank you. Thank you.
Out of my sight. This better be worth it.
Yeah. I'm probably going to get told off by Johnny now for being too lenient again. Out of my sight. Anyway, I have got the device containing the kidney. And I guess it's in some sort of cryo container as well. So there is no clock ticking, which is good because... Come on, this is me. I mean, it would be an interesting thing to have done, I guess, in the game, to have put a timer on this particular activity to have it pass-fail. But I guess I've just got to get this thing back there. Right, let's talk about something else. I've just got to shuffle my notes in order to do this. 1 second. Right, I'm back. The thing is, when I am sort of preparing for an episode, I make a list of all the comments and feedback points that I want to try. What's up is I'm trying to get this kidney back to the Aldecado camp. I'm trying to talk to people about how I do the feedback and comment points. So and also I'm talking to you, Johnny. So shush. 3 things at once is too many. So yes, as I was saying, in between episodes, I make a list for myself of all the feedback and comment points that I want to talk about in the next episode. But I have to keep this somewhere. And sometimes I keep it on my iPad, but if it gets very detailed, I'll put it onto actual physical notes and print them out and put them next to me so that I can refer... Sorry everybody, mercy mission. Refer to them while I'm playing the game and talking to you. So I've got this one in front of me now. Someone said, and this was to do with the year anniversary coming up, would I say that playing the game for a year has amplified my feelings towards the characters and the narrative? And I would say absolutely yes, I would. My understanding of Night City has got infinitely better in terms of the things that are right and wrong with it. The longer I've played the game, the more episodes I've got under my belt, the more comfortable it's felt. Doing things like this, driving down the middle of a road, in between rows of cars, which I could have never done at the very beginning. This is a very tiny car, admittedly, it's perfect for this job. Look at it. I think you could get 4 of these abreast, this carriageway. I really think you could. But yeah, spending part of each week of my life for the last year in Cyberpunk 2077 has been a privilege, really. The feeling I get with Cyberpunk now is similar to the feeling I got with Witcher 3. When I first started Witcher 3, I didn't have a clue what was going on at all. It was one of my first experiences of a game of that type, where there was an awful lot of crafting and skill trees and improvements to do to characters and things of that sort, and it was bewildering to my brain to begin with. I'm used to dealing with things that have a lot of detail to them and intricacy, but when you're doing it every day of your working life, that's a completely different experience to when you're doing it once or twice a week for a few hours when you're playing a game. And therefore it wasn't sort of building up the level of knowledge in the same way. But as time passed in Witcher 3, I did begin to start understanding the logic of how things fitted together. It was like being a stranger in a strange land at the start. It did feel that way, that you would never get your head around it. And then the more you play, eventually the more you do. And the same thing happened with Cyberpunk, but now it's just totally different. I can't imagine not playing Cyberpunk, because each episode there just seems to be more to find out, and like, you know, little things that happened, like happened with my car back there. It might be a bug, it might be a glitch, but it's an experience, and it's fun to investigate and think about. Hey, just because you've got a big lorry and I've got a little car, yeah, bully, just keep behind me. Oh, he's miffed now. He's decided to drop way back. I've shown him who's boss. Return to the avocados camp. I'm trying to. So yeah, I absolutely would say that. And I also found that in Witcher 3, the more that time went on, the more I wanted to integrate my character into every little aspect of the world that they'd built. And the same is true here with V. There's so much you can do. It goes back to what I was saying at the very start when I said I was pausing the main storyline for this episode, because there is just so much potential out there for you to have fun and then explore these things. Oh God. Do you know what I could do here? I could park up my get out. I am a fool. I have a vehicle specifically designed for this. Scorpion's Apollo. Where are you? Come on. Coming the wrong way as usual. This thing should eat up going across the desert sands. Oh yes. Look where we are. There's the train. And here's the Militech people we ambushed earlier. Well, did we ambush them? Nah, maybe not. The avocados are still there. But the bodies of the Militech troops have mysteriously despawned. Isn't that weird?
Of course! Anything else?
I heard a voice. I wish I hadn't heard that voice. I'm not sure what it's about. See, this guy's still moving. In fact, that one is too. They're both still moving. I don't think you're the same people who were here before. Dahoma and NC resident.
We have a say.
Timothy.
Catch you on the trail.
Yes. Yeah, guys, you can get up and go away now. I don't know what's gone on there. Unless this is a different Militech operation. I've lost track of what's happened here in terms of... I think sometimes when you go away from these situations and then return, the game may randomly populate them with an NPC. I'm not sure. Oh, this is better. This isn't sliding all over. We haven't got to the proper sand yet, but you know, there is sand of sorts on this road. Yes, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to cut out the whole of this top part and then cut across. Just... where is it? Here. There we go. That's more like it. This thing on sand is fabulous. I've got a lot of cars and only 2 bikes. I have noticed this. I didn't actually take in whether there were many bikes available. That's something I should think about, whether to get another bike and how to get it. There is at least one free car, and I say free in the sense that I think I've already earned it, but I haven't collected it, which is a possibility. But I'd like to have another bike, I think. This thing's great. It does almost 100 miles an hour, but on a road like this you can, because there's not even any wildlife out here for you to worry about. It's just stones and boulders and the odd cacti, or are they Joshua trees? I don't know. I don't live in a desert, or I haven't spent time in a desert environment either, so that's why my recognition of these things is somewhat subpar, even. I'd settle for par. Here we are, we're coming up to Burning Debris Corner. is this debris that's burning, just out of interest? It looks like tyres. They are tyres. Okay, I'm back. Have no fear. The kidney's here. Oh dear. The things this game gets you to do as well. It just never runs out of new activities. Okay, I'm going to park here for a change because I don't want the same thing to happen to Scorpion's bike that happened to my. Right, grab it and run. Come on. Seconds are ticking away. As is Jake's life. Probably. I don't know that. But it could be. That's not Jake. That's Bob. Bob, I'm here. I've got the implant, but it's infected, Bob.
I got Jake's implant, but there's a virus on it. You'll have to swap out its firmware with the original on the shard.
What a surprise. Nomads always get special treatment. Thanks for being careful, V. Come by in a few hours. Things should settle down by then.
What? What? Return to the camp in 8 hours' time when the operation's complete? What am I supposed to do for 8 hours? I know what I am going to do. I'm going to head back to my bike. I'll pause there and I'll look at my list, my map, where I'd chosen the side jobs and see which of them is next closest to where we are at the moment. Back in a moment. Alright, I'm back at my bike. It's 2:16 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm heading to my journal. The gig that I was describing to you, I couldn't remember the name of it, is this one, Sex on Wheels. Now, a while ago, I did a job for Jake Estevez, I think his name was, where I had to retrieve a van from a Militech establishment, and I did that for him, and my reward, which I never ever got round to actually following up on, was a free car. So let's read what it says here. Go to the garage near the cargo station. Whoever said no to a free car? Not to mention it's a Quadra Turbo R. So quit picking your nose, head down to Rancho Coronado and get behind that wheel. Yes, Johnny, I shall do this. Also, when I look on the map, as I have done, the location of this is where I need it to be. Because all the way down here is where, if you look at the map, you can see why it is. I'm so excited. It's where a lot of those circles with exclamation marks in are located. We've actually been doing the outlying ones up towards the top of the map. Down here is the sort of mother lode of them all. So that's where we're going to go next. I am going to jump on my bike. That's assuming it works. I'm still locked out from selecting other vehicles at this point, and I think that's probably because of the proximity to the Aldecado camp. Maybe it will unlock again as we move away towards Burning Tyre Corner and get back on our main road. It's definitely the right vehicle for this terrain. Definitely. The Mai is not a desert road car. We all know what happens when you drive vehicles inappropriately, don't we? He said as he was sitting astride Scorpion's Apollo. One of the good things about this particular episode has been I have got a load of things to get through that have stacked up from previous episodes where feedback and comment has been left. I always start off with a load and fail to get through most of them because events happening during the game overtake us. Today I was determined, and I've kept them snappy, to get through as many as I can because it's just fun to do that. It's fun to think about these things that people bring up. Something that has been brought up is the tabletop role-playing game, and have I played it? The answer is no, I haven't. I am getting hold of a copy of the book because there's lots of lore in it, I've been told, and I very much want to read through that before I start the second playthrough, before I begin my Fem Corp OV. And on the subject of Fem Corp OV, something else came up. I was asked if I'd had much experience of playing tabletop role-playing games. I've seen them played a lot on YouTube. There were several series which I did kind of follow and watch and had great fun with, and the production quality of them was excellent in that the people behind making them had sort of included some live action acting, some drama scenes built into it, some little sketches to flesh it out, and it really did bring it alive. Great fun to watch, but I have no experience of doing it myself. I do know, however, little bits about how they work, and specifically the idea that there is a character sheet, or more than one character sheet in fact, that you can complete, which helps to flesh out the role that you're going to be assuming as you're part of playing the game before you even begin. Sometimes, as I understand it, parts of it are guided by randomness of rolling dice or a die, and that helps inform the qualities and strengths and interests and abilities and attitudes and physical characteristics even of the player that you're taking on in the game as your character. But also it occurred to me that Femme Corpo V, I've never met the woman. I haven't even got an idea in my head completely yet of what she'll look like, or how she'll prefer to dress or whatever, but I do think I know a lot about her personality, and so much so actually that I started myself a list, and I called it Things Femme Corpo V Will or Will Not Do. That list has now got like 40 things on it. I think it was 43 the last time I counted it. 43 things that Femme Corpo V would or would not do. And by and large, that list has been constructed based upon comparison of the things that male Nomad V has done. So, when I've tried a particular approach in something and it's worked out one way, I've made a mental note to myself, next time do this instead. But the weird thing that's happened because of that is, I think I could now sit down with a character sheet, a blank one, from the tabletop role-playing game and fill it out for my Femme Corpo V, because I know her so well. I know her in so much detail. The unimportant stuff, what she looks like, the colour of her hair, those sorts of things, the clothes that she wears, not got a clue. But the important things about her attitudes and the way she approaches situations, the things she's confident about, her skills and abilities, that's pretty much totally formed in my mind already, and I've not even considered yet when I'm going to be starting that playthrough. It's fabulous how it's happened. In fact, I might actually do that. I may actually see if I can get hold of the book beforehand. I was going to wait until I finished the first playthrough and then go and get the book and read it through for the lore, so that I've got all that established in my head ready when I start the second playthrough. But instead of that, I think I might try and get hold of it now and just get the character sheet bit and see if I can use that to help me not get run over crossing the road, to help me really sort of nail down how my Femme Corpo V is going to be. I think we've reached our destination. Hello? Are you part of this at all?
Did you get your beauty sleep?
Who, me? I mean, you can't tell. That's very harsh. I'm in here, and here's a dude. Is this my car? This is Get in the Car. Talk to me, car. This is a Turbo RV Tech 2058. It was only made in 2058. Rear-wheel drive, 740 horses. 3131 curb weight, doesn't seem terribly heavy. Available. Appears in the iconic car chase on a factory roof in Jakarta in the blockbuster movie Bushido 7 Revenge Never Sleeps. He just asked me if I got my beauty sleep. Oh.
You want to go?
What? Do I want to go with a car? Yes, or do you mean do I want to go with that alcohol you're consuming out there? No. No, not if I'm going to be driving this. These dudes don't want to talk to me either, I'll bet. They're just sad to see it go. He's saying, we've looked after this car. We've prepped it for you. And now it's mine. I'm in the car. Excellent. Leave the area. I'm leaving. I think I'm leaving. Where am I actually going? I'm going to go up onto the road here, and then I'm going to stop and... Oh, Jake's contacted me. Jake Estevez. Rides like a dream, doesn't she? Take good care of her. Thanks again. That's all right, Jake. It was ages ago we did that job together. Job complete, sex on wheels. We've finally finished the job off. Phew. That was good. I'm on the wrong side of the road. I've just realised that. I'm going to go into my map and select the next side job. Back in a second. Right, I've looked in the map and there are 2 side jobs actually that are not very much more distant compared to each other from where we are by virtue of the roads deviating or going straight on. So I think I'm going to pick this one. And again, it doesn't tell us what we're going to find when we get there. We're just going to have to set off and see what happens. I'll go in this car. Oh, it's one of those things that sounds like a really sporty job. This couldn't be more different to the mine way, I'd have to say. In every respect, it's heavier, wider, it's already at 60 miles an hour, and the engine sounds like it's in second gear. 70. I don't think it's changed gear yet. Oh yeah, I can get into trouble very quickly with this car. That's its main feature, I think. Okay, let's pick the next thing to talk about from the feedback. Oh yes, V deciding to spare the scav at Anderson's clinic. I'm still getting comments about this. Why did he let a scav go? Normally, I would have not let her go, but she was grieving for the loss of her brother. That's the first thing. And showing humanity is one of the things that sets us apart from the scavs, is it not? Or are we to descend to their level on every occasion? On this one occasion, V showed some latitude. He decided to give her a break. And I made the point, which I don't necessarily think holds a great deal of water, but I'll say it again anyway, that if we're going to have any change in the relationship between the rest of the world and scavs, it has to start somewhere, and it can start with one person. And that one person could have been that girl, mourning over the death of her brother, being given that break to do so. I totally accept, and I made the point myself, that that doesn't mean by necessity I've converted her and that she's going to feel she owes me a debt and would ever repay it. In fact, she may well be holding a weapon next time I see her, and if she is, then the outcome will not be good. But you have to try, don't you? It's one of the things about V that hasn't changed, I think, during the course of his playthrough. He still believes that you can try. This is the Burriger. Who knows what you might find? Well, hopefully I'm going to find Burrigers, for one thing. It's a nice looking establishment. Doesn't seem very busy though. Unless they're all inside. Maybe they're all inside. There's a dude here. Hello. Ooh, I didn't see you standing there. How's things? Again, you know, constant bombardment, isn't it, with media in this game. You literally can't get away from it. I've got a lot of green circles, so they're non-threatening. And I've got to talk to the...
What can I get for you? Something hot, cold, coffee, liquor.
Diner owner. He seems a bit pushy. There's a difference, isn't there? And it's a very thin one between being a helpful purveyor of beverages and being
Best
a pushy one.
espresso in the whole district. Trust me. You'll be shaking like a corporate rat on payday.
He's either very proud of his product or quite desperate because profits are down and he's just trying to convert anybody who walks into the place into a new potential source of revenue. Because let's be honest, this...
Espresso in the whole district. Trust me. You'll be shaking like a corporate rat on payday.
You've told me that. Because this guy here doesn't spend a lot. He spends a lot of his time sleeping on the bar. He comes in and buys one drink and makes it last all day. That's what he does. You do see this occasionally, don't you? You see people in fast food places who, set up to do some work, and you know, I completely understand how it is. I'm not criticising in any way, but you see that they've got like a cup of coffee there, and you do wonder how long that cup of coffee has been there, how long they have been there for that matter. And I guess it's all income for the establishment. If there's plenty of seats, what do they care if a person's going to be there for 2 hours rather than 20 minutes? You know, it's still income for them, isn't it? But you do wonder, It's just human nature, isn't it, to think about these people? Okay, I'm going to talk to the dude. Hey, dude. I'll have a... Ooh, hit me with a... I'm going to say a Calvaria Feliz. I have no idea what that is.
Best use a buzz.
In the whole
Give me a
district.
Calavera.
Trust me. You'll be shaking like a corporate rat on payday.
Yeah, don't talk...
Everyone listen up. This is a fucking robbery.
Oh, man.
Mr. Slick, behind the counter? Yeah, you. Shut the fuck up and put your hands up where I can see them.
His hands are up.
The rest of you, stay where you are. And don't fucking move a muscle. If I hear so much as a peep, you'll be getting a side order of lead. We clear?
Wallet's on the table! Keep your mouth shut and nobody gets hurt!
This is sad, boys. Robbing a diner in broad daylight, it's sad.
Sticking up a diner, man, that is sad. What'd you do before? Steal old ladies' purses?
Ooh, confrontational.
What part of keeping your fucking mouth shut did you not understand? How about you go first? Hand over your wallet. Nice and easy.
Oh, that's not happening. I'm gonna say you're sending mixed signals.
You're giving me mixed signals here. How am I supposed to dig into my pockets if my hands are in the air?
Logical.
Either I'm reaching for the ceiling or for my wallet. It's one or the other.
Think a sense of humor is gonna get you out of this?
Possibly.
You know who always dies first? Funny people. Like you.
Very likely.
Wallet with Eddie's. Nah.
Oh, he's gone cold. I'm going to tell him that my reputation has obviously not preceded me, but should have done. So let's see what he says.
Can't believe you've made it this far.
You and your shit again?
People who don't judge their competition don't last too long on the streets.
Ooh.
I've met people like you before. They're all dead now. Know why? Because none of them could get the spec on me.
Oh, this is very ballsy.
You're bluffing. Trying to trip me up.
I've danced at Maelstrom and Arasaka.
True.
You think you could so much as scratch me? You'll die before you can pull that trigger. I guarantee you.
You put the gun away.
Let's bail.
He put the gun away. Oh, there were 3 of them. I didn't even see the third one.
Nobody touches this place, and now this? Where's 6th Street when you need them? Thank God you were here. Order whatever you want. It's on the house.
Really? I've just had a drink. I had one of those Calvera Feliz things. Well, I think I did. I can't remember drinking it. I didn't even realise there were 3 of them. I observed 2. I didn't see the 3rd one tucked away in the corner. He actually talked that out. He diffused the situation by scaring them off. Yeah, I'll have a drink.
I'll take a drink.
What have you got this time?
What can I get for you? Something hot. Cold. Coffee. Liquor.
Oh, he's at it again with his menu. There's no great quality to any of these things. I could take a Brosif. Brosifs are refreshing. I could have a Brosif. Does it mix with a Calavera Feliz or whatever it was called? Am I going to get tummy ache? I'll have a Brosif. I will just have one Brosif, please. Excellent. Although I think I may have just bought 2. I'm going to step away now. That was quick. Ezekiel saw the wheel. Wow. Absolute wow. Good. Right. It's defaulted to meet Harako at Embers. Some of these are quite self-contained and short, and some of them are really involved. As with, going back to the Aldecado camp, the monk. Right, I need to go back to my map again. Excuse me while I go, and I'll select the next side job we're going to do. Right, I'm back in the map, and this is where we are located. And you can see that I've selected the next side job, which is due west of where we are. What I did in between episodes was look at the map. One of my very favourite things to do in the game is spend time staring at this map, and worked out a route between some of the yellow circles with exclamation marks in that just said side job undiscovered, who knows what you might find, as well as trying to include that one which I knew already existed in my journal list. What I did not realise was, in the process of constructing that route, how different each of these activities would turn out to be, because you don't know from the description how long, how involved, what flavour the activity is going to be. It's almost like you've made a pie with lots of different fruit scattered throughout it, but concentrated in various sections. And each time you cut a piece of the pie out, you don't know what you're going to get, but you know that it's going to be something you'll enjoy and want to go back and get more of. So let's move on to the next one. Whatever it is. Where's my car? Dude, where's my car? Oh, there it is. I'm going to take this car because, you know, it's been given to me to take, and it's a nice looking car, let's be honest. It's probably a bit much for me. If I was on the website where you can buy cars, I don't think I want to buy this car particularly. It's not my style. It's very noisy. It's really in your face. It's a show-offing car, this is, I think, in the nicest possible way. You know, it's the sort of car people want to show off, is what I meant. I just want it to be able to get me from A to B without me dying, if that's at all possible. And even then, it might not be. Okay, everyone just keep calm. Is it a Monday or a Friday? I can't decide. Everyone drives like this. What was that all about?
Hey,
look, stop it.
Fuck off, okay?
Are you talking to me? I hope not. Potty mouth, that was, wasn't it? We're there, apparently, and I'm driving on the curb because the car's so wide. Something's wrong with the car. The world is shaking. I'm not doing that. It's stopped now, thank goodness. I was feeling seasick. We are here. Wherever here is. What is this? What is this place? Malted Iguana? We're at Malted Iguana Liquors, everybody. And I've got to go over this fence into a dark corner where no one goes, apparently. Let's see if I can get over it. Oh dear. I have a body. Corpse. Vital size none. Cause of death unknown. Identity no records found. Warning, suspected murder. Leave the area to avoid becoming an NCPD suspect. But you've just sent me here. Why would I want to leave the area immediately? I'll just have a quick look down here in case there's anything untoward. I don't think so. There is some police activity behind me and some gang activity across the way, but that's all. Why would I become a suspect? I didn't do this. Oh, I see what you mean. To avoid becoming a suspect. I have a gun. New item received.
Fingerprints detected.
The fuck?
Increasing volume by 33%. New fingerprints detected.
What is this?
What the hell are you?
User inquiry. Technical specifications. HJKE11 smart gun with built-in AI. Experimental model. Name. Skippy.
It says Arasaka on the bottom of it. If I zoom in, you can't see it. Can you see that? Oh! The gun's got a name. Was this your owner? I do want to ask that question, but first the name, Skippy. The bullet has eyes and goggles and a big grin and is smiling at me maniacally.
Skippy, seriously.
Increasing volume by 66%. Name.
I'm not deaf.
Understood. Hearing within norm. Possible issue. Low IQ. Reducing speech rate by 33%. My name is Skippy.
That's insulting.
No, it's just... never mind.
That was insulting. He was talking to me as if I was an imbecile of some sort. Look. Is this dead body then your owner? Oh.
Guy by the dumpster. That your owner?
Maybe it is.
Checking memory. Resources available. 100%. All files removed manually.
Removed?
Possible cause. Theft. Original owner. No data. Suggested solution. None.
I got one. I'll take it.
Processing request. No objections found.
This is so weird. So this guy stole the gun, is that what we're saying, and wiped it of its previous owner's affiliations, details, memories, all the rest of it, and it seems to be activated by some sort of bio input, but it can be reassigned to a new owner, which it's now done. I'm its new owner. Can I change its name? I don't want to call it Skippy. Well, I mean, you could call it Skippy.
Can I change your name?
No.
Why not? Considering I'm your new owner.
Ooh.
Increasing volume by 300%. Administrator rights are needed to complete that action. You do not have the required permissions.
This is like some nightmare version of Delamain, who's lethal. You do work as a gun, presumably.
Still got all your functions?
Running system diagnostics. Testing will take approximately 47 seconds.
That's a long time.
Bum, bum, be-dum, bum, bum.
What are you doing?
I'm making the wait more pleasant with a soothing melody. Bum, bum, be-dum, bum, be-dum, bum. Test successfully complete. The program's Skippy version 0.01 alpha is running correctly.
This is mad. Oh dear. Oh god. Come on. What can you do?
Alright, so what can you do? Besides talk my ear off.
Primary feature, automated targeting.
Wow.
In case of critical threat to user, autonomous shooting capabilities.
What?
Please choose one of two operating modes. First mode, puppy-loving pacifist. I will aim at the enemy's lower extremities. Second mode, stone cold killer. I will aim exclusively at the head.
Wow, that's a thing. I've got tears in my eyes. I'm really sorry about this. Oh dear. I mean, I like the idea of autonomous firing, that if I'm under severe pressure, it can take over and defend me, because I haven't had a weapon that does that before. I don't like the idea of stone cold killer in that it doesn't leave any leeway, does it? I think, oh heavens, Johnny's going to take me apart for this. Puppy-loving pacifist sounds better. I don't want it aiming exclusively at the head. It doesn't tend to say that puppy-loving pacifists can't also aim at the head. It just says... Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go with the bottom one. I'm not going to be talked into the top one.
Guess I'll go with puppy-loving pacifist.
User discretion.
Adjusting settings.
He's smiling.
Bum, bum, be-dum, bum, bum, be-dum, bum.
Ugh.
Selected mode, puppy-loving pacifist. Enjoy permanently crippling your enemies.
In a way, it's become a kind of theme of this episode, actually. The monk asked me not to kill the people in the warehouse, and then I tried my best not to take out completely some of the other people I'd met during the course of the episode, so why not continue? It did say to leave this area before I become a suspect, so I'll leave the area. Has it gone into a slot in my inventory? It has as well. It's gone into the slot where I put the non-lethalized version of the Liberty. Do you know, this is the thing about these episodes, because I don't know what's going to happen. So I can set off by putting weapons into slots like I did with the Mox, and it didn't stay there. The Liberty went into that slot and it didn't really do anything, and it didn't stay there. And now Skippy has taken over that slot. I don't know. I'm sure it will get used. I'm not going to meet Hanako at Embers. I'm going back to my map. I'm going back to the map. So I'm going to take a pause for a second while I look again to see where I'm going next on that big route I drew myself. Back in a moment. Right, we are back to the map. Now you'll notice that I've already selected the next of the undiscovered who knows what we might find side jobs for us to go to. And the question might arise, how did I know this was going to be the next one we did? The answer is that I spent a lot of time poring over this map in between episodes, And I've always been a fan of maps, actually. Ever since I was a small child, my parents knew I had an affinity for maps and got me plenty. I was always in the little cupboard where we kept maps at home and was opening them up and just spending time staring at them and working out routes and things like that. So in between the episodes, I get myself onto the main map here, work out a pattern that I can kind of remember with the help of a sketch map that I draw myself on a piece of paper, which is here, and it has on it the old-fashioned type of adventure game instructions for navigating. It literally says go due north, and you can see where we are, you can see where we're going. That's how I know which of these undiscovered, who knows what you might find, we know nothing about it, but that's how I know this is the one I intended to go to next. Now I'm just going to say that when we've done this one, I think I'm going to stop at that point and go back to the Aldecado kidney episode that we're watching unfold in real time while we're doing all this kind of stuff, and see how that comes out. So let's do this. We need to move. Yeah, you see, I don't think I'm going to take this car. I was thinking about this while I was paused there, and it's a great gift to be given. Don't get me wrong, it's a fabulous car, but it's not me. And I just think the guy who gave it me probably thought anyone would be absolutely over the moon to be given that vehicle, and normally he'd be right, but I'm not anyone. Unfortunately, my attitude to cars is somewhat atypical, and I would have preferred something more modest. Oh my heaven, I was about to say that there's been an accident down here, and then there's another one. Oh God, it's getting worse. Although he's cleared the road. Traffic was moving briefly there again. Yeah, I was about to say there'd been an accident here, but I was safe because the road was blocked, so traffic couldn't get past, and then someone, I think, went onto the curb to get past and ran into me. So yeah, as I was saying, big cars, big trouble. This was it. This was the thing that was originally blocking the road. I don't think there were any witnesses either. If there are, they're not going to own up to it. Yes, that car isn't me. I think I'll call a different car to complete this journey to where we're headed now. And it can only really be one car, can't it? Come on you, where are you? Ooh. You see, it's quite nippy. There's something about it. It's stylish. It attracted my attention. I was about to say it's an eye catcher. I certainly noticed it when I first saw one. Several times I found myself in the vicinity of one and said, I must get one of those one day. Today is that day. I'm quite pleased with it, actually. It's not a Porsche 911. I completely agree. But that sound it makes when it goes round corners, that sound belies its stature. That's the sound of a big car going round a corner, not a tiny little thing like this. This is the little car that could, isn't it? It certainly could get caught up in an accident, that's for sure. And we are there. See, it's got us there in no time at all. NCPD on the corner. Interesting. Oh. Also, I've missed a conversation there and I don't mind because I'm on scene now. Ooh, NCPD here too. I wonder if this is part of the same thing. Who knows? Let's get in here.
Take this, you corporal bastard!
What's going on?
Cocksucking suits.
Oh. I think Keegan Kelly, NCPD, and Corey Aldwin, NCPD, and William Becker, NCPD, have something to answer for. Am I safe hiding here? Let me just go around the corner a bit. What are they looking at? They are looking at Nigel Hamilton, who has no affiliation and probably no teeth now. Because I think he's been the subject of a roughing up. Is that what we would call it? May I intervene? It's telling me to. Better not go in there with Skippy drawn out, because Skippy might decide to take action all of his own. Who do we talk to here?
Fuck you looking at? Nothing to see here. Move along.
Okay. I think there is something to see, because I don't think that guy's dead, is he? Again, you see, I wish there was a way on scanning a person, this is a Cyberpunk 2 request, that the scanner revealed the person's health status. Simplistically, it needn't be anything, you know, really complex or too detailed in any way. I'm not talking about charts and percentages and all the rest. Maybe just a bar to give me an idea of his current status would be good. They're all showing up as red. Anybody want to? Yes, they do want to talk to me. I can talk to you. Now, stop it or else you'll kill him, so he's not dead. But this isn't over, then, apparently. That's the...
Quit fucking with me!
Implication there. Also, he is very testy, this guy. Corey Aldwin seems to be... I thought it was this guy over here, actually, who was in charge. But maybe not. Maybe it's Corey in the middle. I'm going to ask him what's going on.
What's going on here?
Ooh.
This your first day in Night City? What's it fucking look like? Get out of here, pissant!
I was not just about to leave. I am going to cause trouble here by telling you, asking you, instructing you.
Quit fucking with me!
Suggesting to you that you do not continue this.
Leave him alone.
See this badge? That means I can do whatever the fuck I want!
Oh, good lord, they're going to as well. Skippy! Skippy! Oh, Skippy's skipping. Ooh. I mean, it's not... I don't know what's going on here. Oh, Skippy's doing something. Yes. Yes, Skippy. Again, unproven weapon, straight into combat. Oh, gosh. The power of those bullets pushed them across the floor. Are we done here? I think we might be. Oh no, hang on. What was that? It sort of locked onto something there and then it didn't. I'm going to leave that alone. The posture that you've assumed would tend to suggest to me that you're not going to be recovering from that in any hurry at all. There were...
New magazine detected. Message to user. Thanks, Choom.
What? What was that? This gun is weird. This gun is... Okay, Nigel, however... The other policeman is not dead. And Nigel is still alive as well? Oh, Nigel's unconscious. Or pretending to be. I'm not sure which is true.
Rise and shine, corpo swine.
Put the gun away. I mean, we don't apparently have any great sympathy for corpos.
If it wasn't for you, I'd be... Well, thank you. Were you sent by the company?
Wrong answer.
Oh.
Then, hold on. What do you want from me?
Oh, I can demand money. I can demand eddies. I can say nothing and you can just go away, or I can want to find out the truth. The truth is always important, don't you think? The truth is your shield. I think we should ask this guy. He owes us this. He owes us an explanation as to what it was that they were after him for.
The truth? What do they want from you?
Speak.
I have no idea. They said something about some slut and a virtue. But when I asked what I had to do with it, they started beating on me so hard, I thought I'd die. This city's really going down the drain. For the police to do this in plain sight for no reason.
Oh, now I'm conflicted. A young lady and a virtue and this guy are somehow connected. And that's why the police were apprehending him and doing what they were doing. We just don't have enough information here to know where the truth is. I asked for the truth, I got a version of the truth, his version. The police version, though, wasn't very helpful either. They could have simply told me why it was they were interested in this guy, instead of which they started a fight, which we know ended badly. I'm just going to tell this guy to go away. I'm going to let him go. I don't want money from him, because if he is completely innocent, then me taking money from him is not a good thing to do. That turns me into an out-and-out robber, and I'm not. So that's not my V. So go away.
Go on. Get out of here.
Thank your lucky stars.
I don't understand. Just like that. Yeah. For nothing in return.
Being a corpo, you wouldn't understand that.
I don't believe you. You saved me just like that because you felt like it?
It's an alien
Don't
emotion.
measure others by your own yardstick.
Yes.
Prick.
Exactly, Johnny. Exactly. Only pain is complete. It's only pain. Oh, my knee's a little bit worse for wear. I think you may have some bruised or possibly broken ribs. I'd get that checked out if I were you. Also, multiple contusions. But you are better off than the 3 NCPD officers. I mean, normally I support NCPD, as you know, but that situation tended to suggest that I had to resolve it the way that we did. It is 6:53 p.m. I don't particularly want to return to the Aldecaldo camp in darkness, so I'm going to take my last drink of orange. I'll be back with you in a second. I have skipped time considerably, and Bob Sagan has just texted me. Bob says, come back to camp, it's about Jake. Perfect, it said 8 hours. I just wound the time forwards to morning. It's 5 to 9 in the morning. I'll get into my, and we'll head not to meet a narco at Embers, but to return to the camp to talk to Bob. Yeah, I don't know how this one's going to turn out. Is it going to be a tragedy, or is it going to be a victory for what we've done? It's kind of interesting that this one should end with the Aldecardos, because they're never far from my mind. When I was talking to you about Judy earlier, I was thinking too about Panam. There are some really great characters in this game, are there not? It's funny how we kind of, sometimes before we even play a game, we have a picture in our head of whether we'd like to play the game based upon our assessment of the character who's the main character in it. There are certainly games that I've thought about playing, but I've not played, not bought, because I thought, I don't actually like that character. It doesn't really speak to me. I haven't got the idea in me to spend a large number of hours playing as that person. And it's odd, because I think, generally speaking, characters are designed to be fairly neutral in that regard, so that they have widespread appeal. You certainly don't want to design a character for a game, a main character, central character, who the player is going to spend ages as, if that character is hugely distasteful to them. And, they sort of find themselves in a situation where they're thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I worrying about this person and caring about whether they survive when I don't like the character in the first place? I've never had that feeling at all in Cyberpunk for any of the characters, but particularly people like Panam and Judy. They've gone through a lot, and they've come out the other side in one piece. I can't use the expression better people, because that's condescending. That suggests there was something about them that needed to be improved or was deficient in the first place, and that's not the case at all. But I do think they are changed people too. I'm thinking now about whether there's a sort of correlation here between me and V and the way that the characters that I've just spoken about have been changed by the events of this game. I actually think there might be. We've all been through something. We're still going through it. Some of us. And inevitably, we're coming out the other end of it. Different people to when we went in. Can playing computer games change you as a person? I guess it can. Any life experience can change you as a person, can't it? And this is a life experience, so why should it be either? Why should it be any different? I'm not stopping. I'm going to a rescue mission for a kidney. I want to see if it worked. I want to see if they managed to get it to work, whether they got the virus removed. Bob looked a bit... Yeah, I think Bob was thinking, oh dear, a complication we could have done without, as is driving this car over sand. And I'm taking the route that's got lots of swirls in it this time, because the only way I'm going to improve with this vehicle is by using it and getting used to its little quirks, like not wanting to drive in a straight line. Once it's got a wiggle on, it likes to keep wiggling, this car. That's a characteristic. It hasn't got personality, this vehicle. But yeah, to go back to what I was saying, I think, you know, in most games we get this feeling, even before we buy the game, whether we're going to enjoy it, largely based upon the main character in it that we're asked to play as, and whether we think we're going to enjoy playing as that character. When I was choosing whether to be a street kid or a nomad or a corpo, I definitely had that feeling at the start of the game. Which of these would be the most enjoyable to play through? And I think for first playthrough, for me, I got it right. I've enjoyed being a male nomad. It's been a tough thing to watch V go through, and this car is awful to drive on sand. I don't know why I haven't gone back to Scorpion's Apollo, but I didn't. We'll persevere, we're nearly there. But yeah, for a first playthrough, I think really, really good. I'm glad I didn't actually, just for me, I know other people did, choose Femme Corpo V. I did think about it, but I'd played a number of games recently where the main lead had been a female, and I just thought it was time that, you know, I kind of broadened it a little bit for myself, for my own sort of experience, and not feeling too sameish about that. And it certainly was a very different kind of hero to take on. He's a reluctant hero, I think, V. A lot of what he's found himself involved in he never asked for and couldn't possibly have foreseen. There was no way of anticipating any of this stuff. He's a reactionary in the sense that he is making the best of a situation that's been thrust upon him. And that will be interesting to see how Femme Corpo V differs in that regard, I think. Like I said, I think I could fill out that character sheet for her, and I think I will. I've decided, actually, whilst I've been talking to you about it, I've decided I'm going to get hold of a new car. That's the first thing. I'm going to get a hold of a copy of the book so that I can use the character sheet, and I'll try and fill it out for my Femme Corpo V. We are here. Stop. 100 ms. Do you think you can walk 100 ms? Talk to Bob. Bob will have news. I mean, I just don't know. Is this going to be... I'm rushing here, and maybe I shouldn't be. Good news or bad? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to find out. Will the husband be sitting up and looking? No, he's still lying down. He's in exactly the same position he was before. His wife, or... I think it must have been his wife. It could have been his sister, but I don't think it is. Well... let's scan Jake and find out. Ah, now this time it's not revealing anything much about Jake. So let's see.
How's Jake doing?
He's easing into it slowly. Needs a day or two to get up on his feet.
I'm glad to hear that.
You have my thanks, V. On behalf of myself and the entire family.
It's a success. He lives. We've ended on a positive. I don't believe it. That is a sensible place to stop and save the game. The thing about episodes and content of them is that sometimes it's very hard to stop. You will know that I've said in the past that I really want to keep an episode short, and it turns almost into a bit of a running joke because I seem to fail to do it time after time after time. We have 3 and 4 hour, heading for 5 hour episodes sometimes, which is fine in terms of immersion and being caught up in the role play and not wanting to stop, because I really do enjoy that. But there's always a cost to pay in terms of the physical toll it takes and the sheer amount of time it takes to produce videos of that duration. So when I get an occasion like today where instead of following main storyline, I've got an episode made up of individual separate events which are unrelated each to the other. That's brilliant for trying to keep a handle on the duration of the episode, because it means when you think you've done enough, when your body says it's had enough, when the temperature in the room has reached 27 heading for 28 degrees, then you can just say, okay, that's it, let's pause, let's stop there for today. And I started off with a long list, that circular map that I made myself, going round lots of these yellow circles with exclamation marks in. We didn't cover all of them. I've got spare ones left over here for us to continue that loop if we wanted to. But that isn't wasted content. That planned route between those yellow circles will come into play in a future episode. I'll be able to use that again, I'm sure. Nothing is wasted. The one thing I haven't done today in finishing here is to talk to my tombs in the Aldecado camp. I was going to spend some time doing that, and I think I shall. I'm going to build that in too to a future episode. I know I'm going to be coming back to the Aldecado camp. It's such a fascinating place. So yeah, nothing is lost, nothing is wasted. But today's episode has allowed me to keep it down, I think, to a more manageable duration. 2 to 3 hours was the original intention for each of the episodes. I don't watch other people's YouTube channels, as you know, but occasionally I do get my wife to look and tell me the duration of episodes that other people are making, because just out of curiosity, I want to know whether I'm an outlier here, in that my episodes tend to be longer when compared to most others, or whether that is the norm. And she does tell me that I am an outlier, and that, you know, these things are towards the top end, let's say, of the duration of episodes that are produced. So I don't feel too bad when we have an episode like today where I succeed in keeping a bit more of a check on it. That was episode 63. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to tell you now that in episode 64 we will be returning to the main story. So I hope you join me for that. I'll see you then. Bye.